It don't matter the color of the skin, either woman or man, just let the case land. It's here, it's in safe hands. This is God work, not a fake plan. Too many kids being found in these lakes, man. This is MTGV, and you with Miss V. She keep her
Welcome in, everybody.
A drum to a beat. This is the place that you wanna be, but all trolls we delete, you better believe. Just so you know we don't go for those that's taking these souls. We know, but it's getting so out of control. Just so you know we don't go for those that's taking these souls. We know, but it's getting so out of control.
If you need to stand up, then look around.
Y'all know what it is, man. Team ZIYAH. Miss V.
Why is this woman playing blind and crazy in court?
And do you see Mr. Butts in the court today?
Comment too. Yeah.
If you need to stand up, then look around.
So this part really stuck out to me because I'm like, why would she even come to court and not have her glasses on?
I don't see them.
You need glasses, man?
Yeah, my daughter has my glasses.
Okay, Judge, may I take a moment to go get her glasses?
Yeah.
Then if you could just stand up and take another look around.
Okay. Yes.
Do you see Mr. Butts in the court today? Could you point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing?
Uniform with the blue mask.
For the record, the witness has identified Jarvis.
I have my glasses on. I don't see them.
So my thoughts on that performance is that she didn't want to see him, and that's how she was in that house, allegedly. Not seeing or hearing anything. I don't see or hear no evil, but allegedly appears to be the ringleader. Now, not by evidence that we're going over concerning Naziah. Now, y'all know Naziah is a 13-year-old who went missing January 9th, 2024, and there's been a lot of shady stuff behind her case, and it just went, they had the preliminary hearing, and everybody is talking about this case now. And so a lot of people are blaming the grandmother. A lot of things are being unfolded that's coming out, being exposed by family members and just their behavior altogether. And so people are looking at the family. And of course, I mean, when somebody goes missing, of course, you're going to look at the family to find out how she was living, who she was with, and all of that. She was adopted by her grandmother. So I want to go over, I like to stick to the facts. For people who's been following me know that I definitely prefer to stick to the facts, but I do listen to a little bit of what people are saying. And I definitely do like to go on social media and find out what the people are saying that's close in community and definitely the family. And so I want to give a shout out to Mark DeAndre, who has been a leader in this case, getting it exposed on 7 Mile Radio. You can find him on Facebook and YouTube, but if you really want to keep up with him and everything that he do, you would follow him on Facebook. And so a lot of information and details I'm getting from him, Roxy Rocks, and other family members that have spoke out in the beginning. So we are on part 6 of Naziah Harris, who has still not been found. So the first thing I want to do is go over this video that Roxy posted the day after the hearing and getting to know all of this information. And then I want to go over some of the, I want to compare some things because I know that Shannon, they showed her some text messages and they were asking her some questions about, is this you? Is this your number? And so I want to compare that to what the lead investigator was reading to find out what it was that she was reading. So I want to go over that, but we're going to get right into it. I'm going to stop this along the way. This is Roxy Rocks on Facebook. I do recommend that y'all follow her. She is the family. And not only is she the family, but very instrumental in starting a foundation It's a guy named Skilla Baby that's helping with the funeral, memorial, and whatever help they need. And then, like I mentioned, Mark DeAndre, who's been putting his life on the line for a lot of cases in Detroit. And so I just respect what they're doing, and I want to back them and keep the information going that they're putting out. And of course, my opinion and stuff that I'm looking at in the trial and all in the hearing and all of that. So let's go.
To hear from me as far as court. I'll talk about it. I'm just waiting on some other things right now.
I want to go over the
eventually I'll know,
timeline
but,
too.
It won't be today. Thank y'all for all of the pretty hearts. If y'all want to, support me and things like that, y'all can send stars. I really just wanted to say, with being in court, which is obviously why I'm not live because I'm in court. With being in court and seeing the courageous girls, and I commend them so much, who came forward,
Hold on, I'm trying to speed it up.
They're really brave. I can only imagine, walking into a courtroom and having to sit in front of this person that violated you, right, in the most demonic way possible. So it's hard to just see that and see the things that I'm seeing and hearing the things that I'm seeing. So I say that to say this. If you have ever dated Jarvis, Ramon, Butts, Jay, JR, J-Bo, whatever you know him by, everybody knows who he is by now. And if you don't know who he is, look him up yourself. Okay? Because we're too far in it for you not to know. So catch yourself up. If you have ever dated Jarvis Butts or any of the nicknames that he goes by, of which I have just stated, talk to your daughters. Talk to your daughters. Okay? Because what has come out up until this point, he has been targeting and manipulating women who have low self-esteem, low confidence, have some sort of disability, just from what's being said from the people who have come forth. Okay? He is targeting these women and manipulating these women to get to their children.
She is absolutely right. And the judge said that. And as I show these pictures, pay attention to what's next to him. This picture and this one. He should have been reported for the pictures alone. You know what I'm saying? They already knew. Like, I'm looking at an article that said from 2005 he was arrested for something. But I'm going to get to that. But yeah, that's exactly what the judge said. She absolutely read him.
It don't matter what age they are. So this is why I say, if you have ever dated, I don't care if you dated him for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or however long. If this man was ever around you, dated you, ever around your kids, ever around your cousins, your nieces, your aunts, I'm not even going to leave the boys out.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to your children. Okay?
Please do.
His daughter, his own daughter, who is 20 years old right now. Okay? She's 20 years old right now. The first time she seen Jarvis was when she was 8.
The first time seeing her dad.
She was 8 years old. The first time she seen her father when he got out of prison was 8 years old. And the first time he saw her, he violated her.
That's
his
a real
own
predator.
Daughter.
Everybody
So,
knew.
if his own daughter
Come on, man.
wasn't off limits, that means that if you were dating this man or had this man in your household and you have children who are girls, you need to have a conversation with them immediately. Have a conversation with your children. If you know somebody who was dating Jarvis, just in case they don't want to come forward, if you know someone who was dating Jarvis and you know that they have little girls, talk to them and tell them to talk to their children. And talk to yours too. Talk to your sons too. Because at this point, we don't know if they was off limits or not. Okay? I understand. Y'all keep hearing me say, come forth and speak up and things like that. I like I said, I commend the brave girls and women who have come forward. I know it's not easy. I understand that it's embarrassing. I understand it's humiliating. I understand that it's scary and it's not an easy thing to do or talk about. I understand that you have probably put it all the way back in the back of your head, right? To the point of where you've just kind of like blocked it out, right? And certain instances may trigger, or you may not even know when the trigger is going to be pulled, and then you may even explode. At some point, you have to draw the line.
You know what? And a lot of times people won't do it for themselves, but do it for the other little girls. Do it for the ones the little girls younger than you that hasn't told their mother. She is speaking truth right here, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
At some point, the cycle must be broken. From sexual abuse, from child molestation, breaking generational curses. They have to stop. They have to be broken. They have to. Because if not, it's going to continue on. So, do you want it to stop with you? Or do you want it to carry on to your daughter? And your daughter's daughter? And your daughter's daughter? At what point is it going to stop?
She talking to somebody. She talking to a lot of people, actually.
Many people wonder why. I'm going to share something with y'all. And I wasn't going to. So excuse me if I get emotional. Okay? I'm like shaking because I'm nervous. I am past the point of embarrassment. Right? Past that. I don't care about that. I care about getting justice for my cousin and justice for every single woman that this has happened to. Not only by Jarvis, but by other sick individuals as well. So, to the women who I've talked to, who've come forward and asked me for their help with cases outside of Jarvis, I got you. I'm just on this right now. Okay? I am so passionate about what I am doing at this point in time in my life as far as breaking generational curses, and stopping sexual abuse and child molestation. Not only because this happened to my cousin, but because I am a product of it.
A product of it? Wow. That's deep. I didn't know this, y'all. I didn't listen to this. Oh my gosh. Wow, she shared that. Oh my God. Like, she is brave for sharing that. And that's why she goes so hard. That's another reason why she goes so hard. You never know what people going through or been through. Wow. This is hard for her, y'all.
This means a lot to me because I am a product of someone who raped my mother.
Wow.
When she was 15.
Man. Wow. I wonder if he locked up or got locked up. And of course, I wonder who he was. How old was he? And does she know him? All of this stuff going through my head, but hugs to her.
When I asked him,
she asked
about what happened, or essentially how I got here. Because they weren't in a relationship. His response was his mother had his back.
What? His mother had his back.
His mother got him off. His mother told him to tell the police that him and my mother were in a relationship.
What?
And they weren't.
But
my mother was in foster care.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. And so was Naziah.
And noticed something was off about her. And sure enough, found out that she was pregnant.
By a kid in the house?
By her foster mother's son.
Oh my God. Look at this shit here. Wow.
Now for me, having a conversation with him and asking him why. And his response was he got off.
He got off.
And he was charged with rape.
But got off. And how long did this go on? Was it a one-time thing?
So.
And you know that happened a lot.
I decided that I would not ever be put into a situation like that. So I understand that it's hard to talk about. I understand that it's hard to come forth. But at some point, when do you draw the line and break the cycle? So some people may feel like I'm going overboard, I'm doing too much, I'm just trying to do, no.
I just
This
want to
go
say,
way deeper than that.
I just wanted to say that it was something about Roxy. I mean, there's something about her that I liked. And I mean, it was her passion. It was her fight for Naziah, not knowing what she was going through, what she was thinking this whole time, is what her mother went through and the generational curses. Wow.
And y'all got the right one.
Mm-hmm. They sure do.
So while I'm here and while I'm present, it won't be happening. Because I won't stand for it. I won't tolerate it.
I respect
so that
it
is
even
why
more.
I urge you that if anything that has happened to you by this man, Jarvis Butts,
if you can call him that,
to break the cycle and come forward.
That is deep.
I will stand with you. I will walk with you. I will put you in direct contact to who you need to be in contact with.
And
to
she's
make
already
sure
done that too.
That your voice is heard as well as your case. And I'm not fucking playing.
Man, I can feel her passion through the screen.
I don't want people to feel sorry for me with me sharing that with y'all. I don't.
I see her strength though.
Because I thank my mother for breaking the cycle. Because she damn sure made sure that it didn't happen to her kids.
Thank God.
And she probably had her own issues dealing with that. And I'm not trying to expose her like that, but I need people to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing and why I'm going so hard for Naziah and for these other victims as well. That is why. So I don't care about any embarrassment of it, but I do care about stopping it.
Man, I knew could nobody tell me nothing about Roxy because I see her passion. You can tell when somebody fake about it. And I see nothing but passion and fight. And I didn't know why she was going so extremely hard. Besides the act, just what we knew about Naziah. But not only shout out to her. I did not know she was gonna say all of that. And that was the end of the video. She is on Facebook, Roxy Rocks. She has been taking a lot of backlash from people about this case and her family disowning her. Basically, what she says she don't care about. She embarrassed to be a part of the family. But for her to tell that story, that was pretty brave, but it needed to be told. And her mother is sitting in the courtroom with her. I see her mother there also. So this is, I mean, a lot of people can relate to this. There's probably some people in the chat that can relate to Naziah's story. And one other thing, like she spoke about, if you want to tell your story, or if he did something to you, come forward. And it was a person that came forward. It was the 20-year-old that spoke up. She was able to get her heard. She told her that she was the main reason why she came forward. And she had contacted somebody, but she didn't get a chance to talk to them. They didn't reach back, or however. She grabbed her by the hand and took her to the person that she needed to talk to. And so now she's an advocate for that. Like, oh my God, I am just tripping on that. And that was deep. So one of the things I wanted to do, also shout out to Tamara Liberty Smith, who she's been on this case from the beginning, and she's calling out people. Let me see. She posted 8 hours ago. She said, I'm sitting here feeling proud of a speedy progress of this petition. So she has a petition, and I'm gonna make sure that I share that if I see the link here. And believing that I am carrying out my God-given mission. However, I must express my surprise, lady. Lady, I am not familiar with you or your story. So Lady is Naziah's mother. I was unaware that there was a competition regarding who initiated this effort first. Now I'm thinking she's talking about Naziah's mom. I'm not sure. I have been diligently distributing flyers every day, regardless of the weather conditions, and most of the time by myself. I am only seeking justice and change in policy and procedure. We work better together instead of hating on one another. And that is so sad because everybody, who cares about being a leader long as everybody is on the same mission in the end. And it's just sad. Like, give people the props that's been here, though. Like, what I look like, I just started covering this case. What you can go back maybe 11 days ago, and then I'm gonna just take all the shine from the people. I'm getting information from these people. Because they're the ones that was boots on the ground. Like, I was just listening to that Mark tonight, and one thing that he said it really quick because somebody called in and I had already been listening in on this part is that Naziah, I heard them on the stand saying that the reason why okay, so Mark, they found the red and white shoes. They left them there. The police, they end up connecting with them and they asked where the shoes was at. They tested the shoes a couple months later. Mark finds out that her DNA, it was her DNA. It was Naziah. Well, they have been told that she had on blue and white Nikes and light blue pants and some other stuff. It wasn't the pink jumper that they found and the red and white Nikes and all of this. So Mark has said the only thing they can get out of it is that she went home and changed her clothes. Now I had heard people saying that before, but no evidence of that. No. And then I was listening at the testimony of King, which is the partner of Jarvis, and he was talking about where they picked her up at. He said that Jarvis was like, "Oh, that's my niece coming across the street," as if he didn't plan this or something, but just so happened they were driving at the same time that she was walking across the street, but we know they had planned to meet, right? They pull into Angel's liquor store, and I don't know where that's at, but I'm wondering how far is that from her bus, and what time was that? Like, did she go there straight from her bus, or did she really go home and change her clothes and leave back out? Another thing that I'm thinking, when we were listening to the text messages between them, Naziah wouldn't, when he would ask her to do certain things, she would ask, "Well, did they say I could go?" Or "I'm sorry, I can't go. They just went to the store," or I can't do that, because it was one time she was in school and he said something about picking her up. I think I heard that. And she was like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do that." So it's like she wasn't doing stuff that she didn't have permission to do. But of course, obviously, it was a little sneaking around. But was she really sneaking around? Or did she just think she was sneaking around? Do these people find pleasure in watching people think they being sneaky when they actually allowing it to happen? Because I keep going back to the text messages, and when the text messages that in the beginning that Shannon put out, it was a text between her and Roxy, and she was saying, it wasn't text but it was on Facebook, and she was saying how, oh, she just wanted some D, she probably met somebody or this and that. Then I was listening at something else, it was Tamara, and she was saying, or no, it was Roxy actually, and she said that she had went to the area and was passing out flyers and talking to neighbors and stuff, and the people that was out there told her that somebody had told them that Naziah was fine and she was found, she was with her boyfriend or something, right? And so she said she ended up going to that house, not knowing that it was Nets, it was where Naziah actually lived at. And they said that some girls that came from that house told them that she was fine. And so I'm like, what? And just connecting the dots with all of these different things that's being said is just very disturbing, actually. But it's so much in my head. It's just so much coming together for me. And it's not looking good for what the family wants us to believe. But another thing too, remember they said that they grabbed Naziah's tablet, and they were able to see some messages from Jarvis here from Instagram and Facebook. And I think that was about the meetup. Was the tablet at her? I know they said, I know that Shannon testified that she plugged in that tablet, and right before the cops came, she plugged it in, and she seen the text messages from Jarvis, not to meet something, not in a sexual manner. You know what? Instead of me trying to remember all this, I am going to pull up the part of the parts that I want to go over concerning the testimony. This is the lead investigator talking about some of the text messages, and then I'm gonna also pull up Shannon. This is coming from a channel called Justice is a Process. They put out the best preliminary hearing clips and videos that I couldn't even find on Detroit 2. I couldn't find everything. So here we go.
That Detective Markle had admitted. Were you able to go through and
now this was the lead investigator. Before I do that, let me do something else. Dang, did it just take off what I had on here? Come on now. I need you to reload. Okay. So this is a timeline. I actually wanted to look at the timeline. Shout out to everybody in the building. Please smack that thumbs up if you have not. Subscribe to the channel too. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to the 162 people in the building. So we talking about Jarvis and Naziah. So let's go over some facts of the case. Right now, this article was put out January 8th of this year, and it's coming from Click on Detroit is what it says. We are talking about 13-year-old Naziah who went missing on the east side of Detroit. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so text records allege that Butts knew Harris was pregnant, and that the 13-year-old and knew that he had begun doing searches on how to get rid of it. You know, pills. Can I drink antifreeze, red antifreeze, and all that? So authorities believe Butts have been I can't say half of these words, but have been violating Harris since 2022 before unaliving her. Now, I want to point out that in 2022, Shannon allegedly had her own place in Clinton Township, I think is what it was called. In 2023, she moved with her mother. Per her mother's testimony, she said that Shannon wasn't always there. She said she was there, but she wasn't there. She said she had her own place in Clinton Township. But I also heard a family member say they had helped Shannon get that place. She was buying a house. She ended up losing the house because of Jarvis shenanigans. And I do believe it was because of the abuse of the 4-year-old. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened. Now, I was told, or I heard from family, that ZIYAH was always with Shannon when she had her own place. Now, her and Jarvis relationships, whatever you want to call it, the abuse started in 2022 when she was out there, not when she was she was always staying with the grandmother, but she was with Shannon a lot. And then finding out that Shannon allegedly essayed a cousin from the age of 6 to 12, it makes me wonder, well, what was she doing there? I'm picturing the kid in the middle. You know, I said this before. It's just so much going through my head with this that I never thought of before, because it's just not normal. But it's very disturbing. But let me get back to this. Harris, since 2022, He had been essaying her since 2022 before unaliving her in January. Prosecutors said he had a history of targeting and befriending women to get close and sexually abuse their daughters. It's not the only case that this dude had like this. He has also been charged with reportedly abusing two other girls, essaying two other girls, as well as a conviction for SA in 2005. Okay. So prosecutors called Bud a serial child SAer. Okay. So he also essayed an 8-year-old family member and a girlfriend's 4-year-old daughter who reportedly caught chlamydia from the assault. Okay, so we got him a conviction in 2005, but don't nobody know nothing. Shannon actually admitted that he did tell her this. She said at 19, he told her what he had going on, and she accepted it all and had all his babies. Anyway, he wasn't charged until September 27, 2024, as a habitual fourth-time offender. Now, this was for Naziah, who came up missing January 9th of 2024. He did not get charged until September 27th, 2024. Butts and Harris have reportedly known each other because he was the father of her cousin's kids. Now, he knew Naziah because of her cousin, okay, having all these children by him. And out of Shannon's mouth, ZIYAH was only 2 years old when he first met the child. Okay, 2 years old. Nobody's off limits to this guy. That's why, like, the court is going according to the evidence. They said they see, according to evidence, that it started in 2022. But Naziah wouldn't have had a phone when she was a toddler. You know what I'm saying? And they would have had no way of tracking that. And the fact that he did this to a 4-year-old tells me that he ain't waiting. It started way before that. I think she was groomed from the time she got in that house. Anyway, allegedly, he was tracked to Rogue River in Detroit the day after her disappearance. Now, I remember King saying on the stand, this is his partner in crime, well, his partner at the shop. I recall him saying that Jarvis did not, he didn't come to work the next day. He did go to court on the 9th. He was supposed to be getting locked up for a gun charge. They end up extending it for whatever reason to the 7th. He did not come to work the next day. Obviously, he wasn't at work on the 9th. He didn't come to work the next day, but I believe he said he came on the 11th. But so he was tracked at the Rogue River in Detroit the day after her disappearance, and that's where they found all these clothes at. Right? So they sprinkled her belongings all over the place. But I'm gonna go back to what she was said that she was wearing in the beginning is not the clothes that they found. And how did her shoes change, or how did they not know what she was wearing, or why did they give the wrong description? But did she have two tablets? Was it a school tablet and a home tablet? I'm trying to figure that out because I know that they the guy that actually, the technician that went through the tablet at school, I do know that there was a school tablet, and he said he picked it up from the school officials, or they dropped it off or something. But then there was a tablet at home too, so I'm thinking it's maybe two different ones, or did she go home and have her how did her tablet get home? So hopefully all that stuff will clear up for me, but that's some things that's going through my head. Okay, so authorities said there was damage to the clothes, and we all seen that through the preliminary hearing. Butts has been charged with first-degree premeditated murder, child SA material, and second-degree criminal sexual conduct with a person under the age of 13. So here's a timeline. January 9th, Naziah got off her school bus on Cornwell Street and 3 Mile Drive. which is near the intersection of Warren Avenue and Otter Drive on Detroit's east side. So that's what I'm wondering, right? So if she got off the bus at Warren Avenue and Otter Drive, how far is that from Angel's liquor store? I need to figure that out, because that's where they said that's where King said they picked her up from. So which is okay, so she got off the school bus at Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive, which is near the intersection of Warren Avenue. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I gotta write this down. Okay, and on the east side, she was never seen again. Now they say she was never seen again, but she was everywhere. Let's keep in mind that she was at that shop we finding out at the preliminary hearing, and according to his partner, dang, where is my paper at? Hold on, y'all. According to the partner, you know, they went to Ypsilanti and all of that. They was fixing on his sister or his mother or his kid's grandmother's car. They went to Ypsilanti. It took them 45 minutes to go there. They left the shop. When they picked Naziah up, they went back to the shop. So she was at the shop from the time she got out of school until they left to go to Ypsilanti around 7 something. He said that they left the shop, I think, at like 7:35 or 45, went to Ypsilanti, and they came back. He was cutting it close for his tether because he needed to be back by 9. They got back to the shop at 8:45. He counted the money. They split the money. He left. He did not see Jarvis and them leave. They were still, Jarvis and Naziah was still at the shop when King allegedly left. And that was the last time he seen her. Okay, and so had they, now think about this. Naziah had been allegedly doing work for him, and Shannon thought enough to look in her tablet when she knew the police was coming to pick it up in February. Don't we think she should have looked in the tablet immediately if you had the tablet to look in? Let me keep going because there's so much going in my head. Okay, Jarvis, he was scheduled to turn himself in on a gun charge. However, this was pushed back to February. Okay, so in his mind at the time, he had to do this right away on that day. But anyway, I mean, and then if he had to turn himself in, had they really made him turn himself in, they would have had evidence of whatever bruises he might have had on his body, his hands, or whatever you would think. But no, they let him go. So, okay, January 10th, the Detroit Public School Community District, they launched an investigation. Hold on. Okay, so y'all see they launched the investigation. Now the public schools launched the investigation. Remember, I played a video of the brother Florentino saying that his mother, the police came to the house, his mother went to the police, blah, blah, all of that, right? So he wasn't totally wrong. They actually did come to the house and do an investigation because we heard the man in my last live stream that I played. The guy that was doing the investigation at the school, he did say that they came to the house and they investigated. He's the one that got the picture and all of that stuff. Wait, no, he wasn't. Hold on. I'm getting hot. But yeah, he went to the house, did investigate, and asked the grandmother questions. Does she usually do this? Is she got a boyfriend? All that stuff that he said, right? So, okay, January 10th, a day after she went missing, because they didn't report her the day that she went missing. That's a fact. Went to the school to report her missing. The school started investigating. This is the school. Why wouldn't the school turn this over? But this is where the laps come in at. Detroit Public School Community District launched the investigation after Naziah Harris, Naziah's grandmother and guardian, reported her disappearance. It jumped from January 10th on this timeline to February 14th, right? After officials with the Detroit Public School Community District hit a roadblock. Over a month later, they hit a dang roadblock. Yeah, it was already a roadblock. They dropped the ball or didn't pick it up. They brought the case to the Detroit Police Department, leading to the police canvassing the area and investigate. They opened an investigation in the case on February 14th on Valentine's Day. I remember King saying that he was questioned on the 13th of February. So they was doing, they knew something. They was doing something. And then also the lead investigator, she said that she got a call that was asked to look into the case. I think she said February 12th. Yeah. So that's why they talked to King. Yep, she said February 12th. King was talked to on the 13th. And on the 14th, they said leading to the police canvassing the area and investigating the case on February 13th, Detroit Police Department. Now we have February 15th. The detective Jason Mays and his partner interviewed Jarvis Butts in connection with Naziah's case. Now, this is so sad that from January 9th, 2024, all the way to February 15th, did they not get to this bastard who she talked to last? The investigator figured all this out and was like, this is the last person she talked to. You know, let's go talk to this bastard. So this case could have went further along way sooner than it did. Y'all, please smack the thumbs up in the building if y'all have not, and subscribe to the channel. I have not looked at the chat or anything, so I hope y'all behaving out there. Shout out to everybody in the building. What's up, Chop? Welcome in. Shout out to Double Speak. Thank y'all for being here. Yep, it made me cry when they said she screamed where she's at. Yes, like if you're talking about Roxy, a lot of times when I would hear her talk with such passion, I could feel it. I'm like, man, this girl she is really woman. She is really passionate about what she passionate about. Shout out to Miss TT. Welcome in. Man, this breaks my heart. I was hoping she was found safe. He took an angel. I hope he gets to meet Jesus. He gets to meet Jesus? Or how about Lucifer? Hell, yeah. I mean, yeah. How about you go back to your father, Satan? Man, this dude, he can't be helped, okay? He definitely can't be helped. Okay, and so let's see, where was I at? Okay. So Detective Jason Mays and his partner interviewed Jarvis in connection with her case February 15, 2024. Butts claimed he was dealing with a legal issue on the day that Naziah went missing, which he was supposed to get locked up for the gun charge. He also told Mays and Johnson that Naziah, who's related to one of his daughters, would occasionally come to the shop to work with his daughter. Yeah, and King also testified that was his first time seeing Naziah there by herself. He said that on the stand. But it definitely wasn't his first time. This other guy that I ran across who lives in Detroit, he came to my channel on my last live stream, and he said, when I went to his channel, he said that he interviewed the guy Frank from the shop. And Frank said, it was cameras in the shop, so I wonder what did they get off of those cameras if it was cameras inside of the shop. He said that a lot of people was looking for Frank, and allegedly Jarvis had told people he was Frank. Frank is the owner of the building. King and Jarvis was leasing this building from Frank, who owns multiple shops in Detroit, allegedly. And so this guy, I forgot his channel name, the Chronicle something 313. The Chronicle 313. He interviewed him, but he ain't record a damn thing. I was like, God, dog, man, you know you can't remember everything this man said. And he said the guy said that he just wanted to talk at first, but I'm thinking, dang, he could have recorded the audio or something. Okay, we won't get you on camera, but we got to record this because I ain't gonna remember everything. But yeah, allegedly they had cameras there. Allegedly, Jarvis had told people his name was Frank. And allegedly, this Chronicle guy, he had been getting his oil changed there for 4 years, but he didn't know the guy's name, I guess, because he didn't say that he told him his name was Frank. But allegedly, people have been coming up to the shop looking for Frank, thinking that Jarvis was Frank. So anyway, people at the shop allegedly was afraid, and because these people, I guess they was aggressive or whatever, wanting Frank. Frank finally comes up there. He was bloated off the whole day. End up coming up there and they was like, that ain't Frank. And he was like, yeah, I am Frank. So if this dude was sitting up here telling people he was Frank, I'm like, how could he do that though and have a partner there? That mean his partner King would have had to go along with him being Frank too. But anyway, that's just another twist and lie in the dang on story. But we already know by his record what he is and who he is. A person that do some stuff like this, you can't believe nothing about him. Like, he is not even human in my eyes to do something like this to babies. Like, no matter what may have happened to him being 13, having a baby by a grown woman, all that, it don't, I mean, that's bad. I mean, what else happened? But still, at some point, you got to break the curse and not be a part of the damn problem out here. It's just sick. Okay, so Butts claimed he was dealing with a legal issue on the day ZIYAH went missing. He also told Mays and Johnson that ZIYAH, who's related to one of his daughters, would occasionally come to the shop to do work with his daughter. March 6, 2024, police began searching the pond. So they didn't search the pond until from January to March. Oh my God. So they began searching the pond near the intersection of Gratiot Avenue and Quinn Road in Clinton Township, which is where the auntie lived at some point. I remember, yeah, Clinton Township is where Shannon used to live. So he went, and that's what a lot of times people will do. They'll go to familiar areas and all of that stuff, areas that they know, that they frequent. But one thing that we got to keep in mind, he scattered her stuff everywhere. How did her ID get at the one location? See, I'm not from there, so I don't know how the distance of these places. Could she have dropped the ID walking to the liquor store? Like, allegedly, how did her stuff get scattered everywhere? Because he trying to confuse people. And I mean, she could be anywhere. Like, we know they traveled to Ypsilanti, went to a hotel, like, just, he did a whole lot. And he had a whole lot of time for everything to be, all the evidence to be wiped away. I would think if she was in the water, she would have came up at some point. That's crazy. All right. So March 7th. See, now I remember March 7th is when the woman found her ID. And remember, if y'all been following this, when a lady, if y'all have not been following this, the trial, first of all, let me know. I mean, should I pull up the trial, the hearing and just go over it? That's something I haven't done. I haven't gone over it. I haven't even seen every single thing, but I was gonna do it on my own. But if y'all think there's something y'all will want to tune into, I'll definitely let y'all watch with me and just get all the information. Some of the stuff is drawn out though, but it's all important at the end of the day. Okay, March 7th, a woman report to the police that she found Naziah's school ID. She says she has stepped over it multiple times over the 2 weeks before deciding to pick it up. Once she picked up the ID, it was face down and she recognized Naziah's photo and called the police. She recognized it because they have been airing this on the news and she's seen it. and she had been walking past, and she like, let me pick this up. Now where she dropped it off, where she found it at, was like near the curb, as if whoever dropped it could have been getting in a car right there. But I don't know what they made of that, or if somebody just drove past and threw it out the dang on car, just trying to confuse everybody. I remember her saying in her testimony, the lady that found the ID, that she went to a store, put it on a lid, and called the police, and she never touched it with her. She touched the outer part of it, but not the face of it, to try to preserve it. Had they put the stuff, had they got the case to the police sooner, that would have happened sooner. It was just so many. That's why I say she was failed so many different ways by the people that should have reported it to the dang on police. Her grandmother, like, okay, you already know she wasn't in school. I mean, come on. I think it was important to tell the school, but not first. I would have went to the police department. Don't you know when you go to a middleman, it's always gonna be a lapse? Like, okay, the middleman gonna do what he gonna do and try to do his thing. How long he gonna sit on it? How serious is he gonna take it? It's just, and then just so happened, the guy that was the lead of this at the school, he was asked to look into it, and he did what he did. He was about to retire. He said he handed off to another guy. So what did that other guy do? It seemed like, to be honest, after his investigation, I guess we can kind of put it on the guy that retired. Because, I mean, instead of handing it off to somebody at the school, he should have said, oh, this is enough information to just give it to the dang on police. I'm retiring. I want to make sure that it get in the right hands. You see what I'm saying? Just messed up. Damn. I mean, but had the grandmother never went to the damn school, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now. March 12th, 2024, 2 months after Naziah's disappearance, 2 months after her disappearance, her family told Local 4 they're holding on to hope of finding her. And I guess this is when they did their press conference at or whatever, drug out there. Because the grandmother really didn't want to do press conferences saying that she was private and all this kind of stuff. Like, no, private, aka sneaky. At this point, there have been over a dozen searches for her. Authorities searched the area of 7 Mile and Berg near the river in relation to Naziah's case. There, they found the pink overalls, a black hoodie with headphones in the pocket, and a shoe. Now, I remember the guy testifying that actually went back out there to where they had found the shoe originally, Roxy and Mark, not knowing that it was hers. They left it there. The people were supposed to come there and meet them, but they end up not getting there before they left. And anyway, I remember the guy saying, the guy that went out there to take the pictures of all the evidence and all of this stuff, he said he found the pink jumper and her shoe was inside of the jumper. And so I assumed it was her other shoe. So I know that's what he said now. And another thing I don't get is why they don't take pictures before moving the pink jumper from its original state. Why didn't you take pictures? Why? Because that would have told us how the killer placed it. You see what I'm saying? And this ain't the first case that I reported that they did that. I don't like that they do that. Take a picture. And basically he was saying that it was a lot of stuff out there. It was a lot of clothes. It was a lot of coats and different things like that. And he said that he didn't even know what it was at first, and that it was going to be something. But if you're going to touch it, just take a picture. You should have a practice of doing that. I think it's very important to see the placement, the original placement, to even know, that's getting into the mind of the person that did it, kind of. But anyway, that was annoying to me. And then they posed the little jumper on some branches or something. Posed her shoe. But one of the things that stuck out, hold on, I need some water now. One of the things that stuck out is that her clothes and stuff wasn't weathered, and they could tell that it wasn't out there very long. But I mean, if it was out there for 2 months, ain't that kind of? I mean, that's a little time, right? So how long was it out there really? I do know that they got his locations and stuff, but I didn't compare. Yeah, I know they got his locations, but I'm curious to know when was he pinged out there exactly. I know they found the stuff on the 12th, 2024. Anyway, please smack the thumbs up, y'all. What's going on in the chat? I ain't looking. Let me I'm about to mod you up, Miss TT, so you could take care of anything that shouldn't be going on in the chat, because I'm definitely not looking. Are you gonna be here for a minute? Let me know if I can mod you up for this stream. I just can't. I'm reading and stuff, and I can't pay attention to the chat. So I don't mind if people come in with a different opinion or anything, but when they come in just totally disrespectful, they definitely got to go. Good morning, James Money. Thank you for being here. Okay, I'm about to mod you up. Thank you for saying something, because I'm not paying no attention. Yeah, if they just totally, saying something crazy, they got to go. I'm not sure what happened. Me and a friend was talking about this. Yeah, this is a lot of people is talking about it because so many people can relate to this. A lot of people went through this, and I mean, but dang, I will say in my 4 years of reporting crime, this would be the worst. This would be the worst that I've seen and it's making me think different than ever before. Like, to really think that a mother and a grandmother would be allegedly a part of this, in agreement with this. It just, I can't really wrap my mind around it. But the more that I'm hearing, the more that it makes sense, y'all. One thing that I'm wondering is who did this to the grandmother at the age of 11. It had to be a family member. Was it a father? Was it an uncle? Like, who did that to her? And how long had that been going on? It really makes me wonder, because this is deep rooted. And then, for people to say, oh, the granny was allegedly involved with him, and just what we heard, what Mark said, it's sick. Shout out to Aunt T. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let me get through this article, because there's so much going through my head. Like, I know I hope I'm not sounding all over the place, but I feel like it because there's so much going through my head. She stepped over it multiple times. Okay. We are at okay. So that's where we were. The authorities searched the area of 7 Mile and Berg near the river in relation to Naziah's case. There they found her pink overalls, a black hoodie with headphones in the pocket, and a shoe. Which all that stuff I just said is not the stuff that Naziah the police were told that Naziah had on that day. You see what I'm saying? And so August 15th, 2024, Detroit police submitted a warrant request relating to Naziah's disappearance. Dang. August 15th, Detroit police submit a warrant relating. God, so much time. September 24th, Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy announced Jarvis Butts was charged in connection with her disappearance. God dang. She disappeared January 9th, 2024. He was charged in connection March 26th, it says here, 2024. All these months later, Good thing is he was locked up from February 7th and he wasn't out there to violate no other little girls. Authorities announced the case will be treated as a homicide, even though the body has not been found even to this day. September 27, 2024, Jarvis Butts is arraigned and he faces multiple charges in Naziah's murder. November 1st, 2024, Jarvis Butts preliminary hearing or examination begins. It not only focused on Naziah's case, but also 2 other victims. Butts allegedly assaulted a 13-year-old girl, a 13-year-old, and a 20-year-old testified in 2 different cases. Now, the 20-year-old is the one I do believe was like 4 and or something when it happened at the time. The 13-year-old I'm finding out is I'm hearing the 13-year-old is allegedly Shannon's sister Marquita's kid because her father tried to take his head off in court. Of course, we couldn't see any of that, but people that was there said that they had to whisk Jarvis away and all this, and the father he was kicked out. And he even said, matter of fact, I'm going to go to a video of that father. Let me get through this. So, yeah. So, now, that's just crazy, y'all. You know, how the hell this happened to both y'all daughters and this dude still around and breathing? How? How do you do this to your own child? You are sick. I mean, I don't care who, anybody, but your own, though. Like, what the hell? Always got a little one around them. Hide your kids. Hide your mama, your sons, everybody. I just can't believe that it's women or females, I should call them, out here that would turn a blind eye on this stuff. But it is, like I told y'all, this well, I mentioned this in one of my other lives that I have ran across a lady telling her story how she gave birth to a child, an infant, just to hand off to a pred. She didn't allow herself to get close to that child. She hated the feeling of it and everything about it. And the predo came into the delivery room with her, and she presented him as the father. This probably was a couple years ago that I seen it. I probably could find it if I look for it, but I seen this and I was floored and disgusted.
Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up.
What in the fuckity fuck kind of shit is this?
Wow.
What in the fuckity?
Insane. And people say he handsome. Look at this clown. Cute ain't shit. I've been told that all my life, okay? I guess ain't nobody tell them. But he ain't even cute to me. When you know somebody did, I don't think he handsome at all. I mean, maybe he was at some point in life, but he looked like a loser to me. He don't look like shit. He looked like shit. Let me get back to this. Okay, so Jarvis, he was arraigned. This is from last year, September 27, 2024. He was arraigned and faced multiple charges. Okay, so we talked about the 13-year-old, which allegedly is Shannon's daughter. Something happened to her from the age of 11 to well, I can't quote that, but yeah, he did that. And his own 20-year-old daughter in 2 separate cases. That's all the stuff is going on now, too. January 6, 2025, Jarvis preliminary examination continues. Dozens of witnesses have testified so far, and so more are expected on January 8th. So all of that stuff. And so that is where we are right now. I want to pull up, let this video play of some text messages. So we are listening for the June, I want to say June 28th text messages. We're listening for that because we want to hear we want to know what Shannon was reading in court. Remember when they handed her the phone? I mean, yeah, the paper, and they was like, is this from you? Is that from you? And she said the only time I would text from a text now number is if my phone was off. The text now number was ZIYAH's phone. Allegedly, I heard that lady gave ZIYAH that phone. And the only time she could use the phone is if it was hooked up to Wi-Fi. So, yeah, that's what we listening for. I'm going to let this play. Shout out to Justice is a Process. This is a channel. Y'all check them out too. We reviewing their video.
You know, you mentioned there was the Text Now app and Text Now phone numbers that have been associated with Naziah.
Yes.
When you went through Mr. Butt's phone extraction, did you find any of Naziah's Text Now numbers?
Yes.
Okay. And do you
shout out to
recall,
TBZ sniping them?
If what was on his phone? First of all, did you eventually do a search warrant for Text Now?
Yes.
Okay. And did you receive messages back from Text Now?
Yes. So the initial Text Now messages, again, DPS had done those, and they had only gone back like a week. I had another search warrant submitted to Text Now and requested to go back to January 1st of 2023.
Okay, January 1st of 2023. So we in the right place. But before I do this, I'm gonna play the what's her name? The twins baby daddies, the little girl that testified in court, the 13-year-old. I'm gonna play her father, or as much as I can. I have not listened to this, so I don't know how much of it I can play. This is Shannon and her twin sister here. This was at her last baby that is 2 years old now. The gender reveal, I do believe this was the time frame. So I just got this up.
Hey y'all,
looking.
I'm Rainbow.
Now, y'all notice that? Why did she say that? I wondered that. I wondered, what does she mean by that? And then, now that was Naziah. And what I thought about is the text message between her and Jarvis when Naziah said that she had a girlfriend. And he goes, is this our girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? Like, who been messing with her to think that that's what she is? Because when you say rainbow, that's, we know who hijacked the rainbow, right? Am I reaching or what? I'm like, what was that supposed to mean?
Hey y'all, I'm Rainbow. No, don't pay them no more. Y'all come in. I am ready for the gender. I am team boy all day. Hey y'all.
Team boy. Okay. Oh, let me get this phone.
Hey y'all. I'm Rainbow.
Did you know someone by the name of Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the courtroom today? If you need to stand up, then look around.
Did y'all wonder why she
You
acting
know someone by
blind
the
and
name of Jarvis?
crazy in court?
Yes.
And do you see Mr.
Like
Butts
she
in
don't
court
see.
today?
Why she act like she don't see that man in court? And why did she go up there with no glasses on if you're blind without them? Can somebody help me with that one?
I got no glasses on. I don't see him.
You need glasses, ma'am?
Yeah, my daughter has my glasses.
Okay, Judge, may I take a moment to go get your glasses?
Yeah.
And if you could just stand up and take another look around.
Okay. Yes.
Do you see Mr. Butts in the court today? Could you point to him and identify a piece of clothing that he's wearing?
Uniform with the blue mask.
For the record, the witness has identified Jarvis.
I got no glasses on.
That's how she was at home. She didn't see a damn thing going on, okay? Because she didn't want to see it, okay? Get the hell out of here. That was just too much. Did y'all catch that? And then also, I'm noticing how she always puts something on Shannon and Shannon puts stuff on her. My mom told me to plug in.
I'm Rainbow.
Did you know someone by the name of Jarvis Butts?
Yes.
And do you see Mr. Butts in the court today?
I'm trying to play something with no sound, but no, she said on the stand, my mom told me to plug in the tablet. And so I looked on it, we gonna get to that. And then the mother said, my daughter got my glasses. Like, girl, you need them damn glasses. Didn't she know they was gonna ask her to identify him? And didn't she know about where he probably was sitting already? Like, you acting like he all over the courtroom. Like, that was just too much. Okay, so let's see. Oh, man. Uh-oh. I don't know if we gonna be able to really play his video. He might be playing music. Let me see. Yep. I can't play his video. He playing damn music. Yep, I can't play it. Anyway, let's go back to what I was doing. Music. He playing music and rolling up.
When you found these text and messages on Mr. Butt's phone, did those include all of the messages that you got back from Text Now, or just only parts?
It's all the messages through Text Now that were to that number that was assigned that Naziah was using on Text Now.
That's what you got back from Text Now?
Yes.
But I'm talking about on Mr. Butt's phone.
Oh, Mr. Butt's phone specifically was just the messages from Text Now between him and Naziah.
Okay, and did it include everything that you received back from Text Now, or?
No.
Okay. And Jenna, may I approach?
Yes.
Approaching with Nicole's proposed exhibits 46 and 47. Can you tell me, in exhibit 46, do you recognize what I handed you?
Yes, this is a extraction report for a iPhone. And it was for phone number account 313-585-8719. And this is the section in that extraction about messages.
Okay. And is that exhibit, proposed exhibit 46, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the messages that were on Jarvis Butt's phone between his phone number and the number 213-743-3173?
231, yes. 231.
231.
Yes.
Sorry, numbers. 231-743-3137.
Yes,
Okay. And those are the ones that you had seen on Mr. Butt's phone.
correct.
And I move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 46.
Objection.
It'll be admitted as People's 46.
And those cover a period of October 7th, 2023 through November 23rd, 2023. Is that fair?
Yes,
Okay. And now I want to show you proposed exhibit 47. Do you recognize what I handed you in 47?
Yes, this is another extraction from the phone, and this is under the message section.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the messages that you went through on Mr. Pluck's phone to the number 313-379-5882?
Yes.
And I would move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 47.
No objection, Your Honor.
It'll be admitted as People's 47. Can you repeat that phone number?
313-379-5882.
Thank you.
Thank you. And those would be from the date period of September 26th, 2022 to September 30th, 2022.
Yes.
And now I want to show you what's already been admitted as People's Exhibits 15 and 16. And these were already admitted. These are certified copies of text now messages. So I want to talk specifically about subscriber information within them. In People's 15, is there a subscriber as it relates?
Yes.
Okay, and who is that subscriber?
Excuse me, you need to let me hear. I can't hear you with your back turned.
Okay, so is there a subscriber as it relates to that?
Yes.
Who is that?
The username on here is Naziah Harris 955.
And are you familiar with the Naziah Harris?
Yes.
And how is it that you're familiar with her?
That is Naziah's biological mother.
And is there, on the next page, is there a phone number that is associated with that account? It might be on the subscriber information too.
Yes.
And what's that phone number?
It's 313-379-5882.
And what is the period of usage for which the subscriber Naziah Harris had that phone number?
The phone ownership is from September 24, 2022 through November 8, 2022.
And for the subscriber information in People's 16, can you tell me who is the subscriber there?
The subscriber here, the username is Naziah Harris 74.
And is there a phone number associated with that?
Yes.
What's that phone number?
231-743-3137.
And is there a phone ownership date period for that?
Yes.
What's that date period?
January 1st, 2024 to February 6th, 2024.
Wow, she had that for a short time and the time that she was unalive. January 1st. Wow. Wait a minute. How? January 1st, 2024. She would have been passed away. No, she wasn't. She didn't pass to the 9th. That's crazy. She got a phone 8 days before she was passed away.
Are you familiar with the location of 17500 East Warren Avenue in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
And may I approach?
Yes.
Somebody's already offended. And I'm showing you People's 4, 5, and 6 already admitted. How is it that you're familiar with that location?
This is Frank's Auto Repair. It's located on Warren, right at Neff, 17500 East Warren. This is a location that Jarvis Butts worked at prior to working at 9000 Connor.
And that's in the city of Detroit, Wayne County?
Yes.
Now, did you yourself, I want to go into the interviews with Mr. Butts.
Yes.
Did you interview Mr. Butts?
Yes.
Okay. I want to start with an interview back on May 31st, 2024. Do you see the person that you interviewed in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. Can you point to him, tell me the color of the clothing that he's wearing?
Yes, he's sitting behind the defense counsel. He's wearing a face mask and he has the Wayne County green jumpsuit on.
He's
Your Honor,
cowering.
with the record reflect that witnesses identified defendant Jarvis Butts. And we've been talking this whole time about a Jarvis Butts. Is that the same Mr. Butts in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this interview back on May 31st, 2024, where was that at?
That was at the Wayne County Jail.
Okay. And who was all there?
Myself and Sergeant Lance Sullivan.
And do you recall about
Ryan Wright,
what time the
FBI.
interview took place?
It was in the afternoon,
Okay. Or about how long did this interview last?
like 2-3 hours.
Okay.
Ill Bill.
And with Mr. Butts, did you ask him about his education and speaking English, things like that?
Yes.
And did you offer him any food or drink?
I believe at one point we had asked him about if he needed some water because we had been there a minute.
Okay. And did you read Mr. Butts his constitutional rights?
I believe Sergeant Sullivan went through those with him.
Okay. And was something used to assist in the reading of those rights?
Yes.
Okay. And Your Honor, may I approach?
Now I got a person named If that came in here and asked for a moderator. If I do that, I would be a fool. I ain't never seen you in my life. What the hell are we talking about here, sir, ma'am? Enjoy the show. Please smack the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You could do that.
Handing you with Smart People Proposed Exhibit 26. You tell me what it is I just handed you.
So this is the Detroit Police Department constitutional rights, advice and rights form.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the one that was executed back on May 31st, 2024 with Mr. Butts?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 26.
No objection, Your Honor.
It'll be admitted as People's 26.
Thank you. And did Mr. Butts, did he sign or initial acknowledging his rights?
Yes, he read them and he initialed them and he signed.
Okay. And did he agree to speak?
Thank you, TBZ.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
the hell
And
are we talking about
pass
here?
for voluntariness.
Sergeant Jones, you came to interview my client on May 31st, correct?
Yes.
It was you and you said Sergeant Sullivan?
Yes.
Were you aware he was represented by counsel at that time?
Yes.
In fact, did one of you call his counsel and ask for permission to interview him?
On that date?
Not on that date, prior to that date.
Several months before, yes.
In April 17th, in fact, right?
I don't have the exact date, but it was a couple months before that.
And the words used were under no circumstances, right?
Under no circumstances.
May you interview Mr. Butts?
Well, that's not true.
You were not told you could not interview Mr. Butts?
Judge, I would object. This is a legal argument. Only the client themselves can enforce their right. A defense attorney cannot enforce their right to remain silent.
I just asked a question. Was she told not to? She couldn't interview?
So,
1 second. Were you getting ready to say something else?
But and it has nothing to do with this interview.
If we're talking about voluntariness, I want to see, was she aware that he had a right to have his counsel? They contacted his counsel. His
Does it
counsel
really
told them
matter?
do not interview.
That's you're saying this had nothing to do with this interview that you're speaking?
Yeah, this was 2 months prior. That was not this day. This was completely separate.
I really don't care
And
about this.
a defense attorney cannot invoke their client's right to remain silent.
And
That's just
I'm
the end
so
of it.
irritated at the audio too, by the way. This irritates me. This irritates my soul. Do you know how much information we missed with this damn audio. I hate bad audio. And when the audio is bad, I don't even listen to it. It's too bad. Like, I'm going to try a little bit. Let's see. He lying. I ain't got time. He lying anyway.
Mr. What's the next day? You came back the next day.
Yes,
What's the reason you came back the next day?
we had some more questions.
Okay. And was he once again, I guess, was he still constrained by that advice of rights?
We had him sign another one. He read another one that day and he signed it that day as well. I'm pretty sure, or we showed him this and he agreed to it. That's what it was. This was the paper. We showed him, he agreed to it, he understood it, and he continued to talk.
Okay. So you were using that same form?
Yes.
Okay. And once again, sorry. Okay. And once again, he acknowledged his rights.
Yes.
And he did continue to speak with you.
Yes.
Okay. And he didn't mention anything about not wanting to speak with you.
Correct.
And did he give you any reason in your experience to think that him speaking with you wasn't voluntary?
No.
And just what's it? And I pass for voir dire to voluntariness for the June 1st statement.
June 1st. Okay, we getting close. June. If I'm remembering correctly, they asked Shannon about June 28th. So I'm thinking she's going to read something coming up there.
Sergeant, do you recall on June 1st, you were with your partner, Sullivan? You didn't have him sign the form.
Well, we had presented this back to him. We had this form, advised him that this was still, if he understood.
Well, I'm talking about the June when ZIYAH was still alive, though.
His rights, and he agreed.
So your words, I believe, were you remember the form you signed yesterday. You still understand that?
Did I say that, or did
No,
Sergeant Sullivan say that?
Sergeant Sullivan said that.
Okay. You want me to say what Sergeant Sullivan said?
No, I just you went with your partner and you understand that nobody had him sign anything that day.
That he was re-advised of the rights from the form that he had signed the first day, and he was shown the form, and he agreed to continue to talk.
Are you sure he was re-advised, or so you remember signing a form yesterday?
You would have to play to hear the exact, I can't tell you the exact words that Sergeant Sullivan said. I don't recall his exact words.
So, Your Honor, I'm going to object to this. As I recall hearing this tape, there was no reading of rights for the second date. The only thing that happened on the second date was he was advised, do you recall signing the form yesterday? Yeah, that still applies. That's not.
Do you want to play it so I can hear it?
Sure. You want to play June 1st, beginning probably the first 5 minutes.
Oh, shoot. What are we doing here? It would happen when I walk away. Let's see what happened here.
For voir dire to voluntariness for the June 1st statement.
Sergeant, do you recall on June 1st, you were with your partner, Sullivan? You didn't have him sign the form.
Well, we had presented this.
I stated it wasn't necessary, not those exact words. And he said it's the same rules. If you don't want to talk, you don't have to. And are you familiar with your rights? And asked him that, and he said yes. I don't see if there was anything that was not.
You know, this is so unfortunate. I am so upset about this. God, I can't understand nothing. And I got on my big headphones now. It just sounds even worse. It's just so distorted. They need to get some damn real equipment. This is crazy to me. Ain't no reason for this to sound like this crap. God, what the hell are they saying? Can y'all hear? Bullshit. God, man.
And clip 15.
I don't even know if this is one. I don't know if this is the one I really meant. Wait, what's the date?
These are the messages from 313-379-5882.
What's the date?
Do you have a copy with you?
I don't have a copy of that now.
Can you read the messages that were sent from that number to Jarvis Butt's number, or I guess the messages that were captured within People's Exhibit 15? So, including the dates and approximate times.
So the first message is September 24th, 2022.
God dang it, these ain't the messages I want.
At 22:15 hours UTC. She says, bald head Janiyah, come here.
And that's to a number that's not Mr. Butt's.
Correct.
Okay.
Then the next message is on September 27th, 2022. All of these dates are from 2022.
Yeah.
So September 27th at 1:37.
I'm looking for 2023, y'all, and I believe she had on the black what I'm looking for. God dang it, I thought I had the right stuff.
AM UTC. It is sent to Mr. Butt's phone.
I'm gonna let it play a little
We
bit.
witnessing happy birthday. Immediately after that, at the 17-second mark, again to Mr. Butt's phone, it says, come on. On that date, September 27th at 1:52 a.m., another message is sent to Butt's phone asking, you okay? September 27th, 2022, 1:54 a.m., she sent a message, where are we doing it at your choice? Immediately following that text, a message is received to Naziah, to this text now number, from Mr. Butt's phone that says, you tell me. 9:27, 1:55 a.m. A message is replied to Jarvis, says basement. 1:56 a.m. A message is sent to Naziah from Mr. Butt's phone that says, you sure? At 1:56 a.m., a message is sent to Naziah, from Naziah to Mr. Butt saying, or job.
Or job. So pay attention to the times that she's talking. 1 in the morning and 12 in the morning. And this is from 2022. So it's more than one text now phone then. Because the one that they were talking about earlier with the 231 number, which is the number that Shannon is going to be referring to in her testimony. That's why I got to find that one. This must be a different phone because they said that the 231 number, she had it from January 1st, 2024. And it says to February 6th, 2024. So I'm gonna let this keep playing, but I'm looking for something else. This is not what I want. Let me
At
make sure it wasn't in the
1:57 a.m.,
beginning of this.
a message is sent to Naziah from Mr. Butt's phone saying, "Can you suck my dick, please?"
That's just too damn much.
The message immediately
Sick
following
ass
that
bastard.
from Mr. Butt's phone to Naziah, and make sure you erase the messages.
I don't even want to hear that shit.
No objection.
This is BMS People's 58.
And I want to direct you to I guess it's going to be page 3 of the report. Go 4 of the report.
So the first, you want me to read the ones that are just highlighted, or you want me to start at the top of here? So.
The ones that are highlighted.
Okay.
Just start with the ones that are highlighted.
Yeah, so this search was December 9th, 2023 at 3:32 UTC time. So you would actually have to subtract 5 hours.
Okay, this
Which
close.
would make it the night of December 8th. And the site is, what's visited, it's Drink Me and Abort Your Baby, the Herbal Abortion Tea by Maya.
Okay. And what about the next one after that?
There is a site that's visited on December, it says here December 10th, 2023 at 9:32 p.m. UTC, so -5. And the site visited is plannedparenthood.org/learn/abortion/the abortion pill.
And
the next
one.
next search is immediately after that, so December 10th at 9:32 p.m. UTC, the abortion pill, get the facts about medication abortion. There is a search that was conducted before that on December 10th, 2023 at 9:31 p.m. UTC. And that site is plannedparenthood.org /blog/can I use herbs to have an abortion at home?
And the next
The
one?
next one is December 10th, 2023 at 9:31 p.m. UTC. Can I use herbs to have an abortion at home? Planned Parenthood.
And the next one?
The next one is December 10th, 2023 at 9:36 p.m. UTC. So
Good
again,
morning, Bayou.
-5
Welcome in,
hours.
everybody.
And that site is, it's ANSIRH.org, research, over-counter medication abortion. Search December 10th, 2023 at 9:36 p.m. Over-the-counter medication abortion, and that's from that same place before, ANSIRH. December 10th, 2023 at 9:32. Planned Parenthood, abortion, the abortion pill. How do I have an abortion using only misoprostol, misoprostol. The next search, December 10th, 2023 at 9:32. Planned Parenthood, learn abortion, the abortion pill. So it's like the same, back and forth to the same site. On December 11th, at 11:43 p.m. UTC, so -5 hours. Specifically is searched is, can I drink red antifreeze? Again, that same item is searched again right after the same time, 11:43 on December 11th, 2023. believe that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now, in that phone extraction that you went through with Mr. Butts, that Detective Markle had admitted, were you able to go through, and I know you had mentioned there was a Text Now app and Text Now phone numbers that
Yes.
have been associated with Naziah.
Yes.
When you went through Mr. Butt's phone extraction, did you find any of Naziah's Text Now numbers?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall if what was on his phone? First of all, did you eventually do a search warrant for Text Now?
Yes.
Okay. And did you receive messages back from Text Now?
Yes. So the initial Text Now messages, again, DPS had done those and they had only gone back like a week. I had another search warrant submitted to Text Now and requested to go back to January 1st of 2023.
Okay. And when you found these Text Now messages on Mr. Butt's phone, did those include all of the messages that you got back from Text Now, or just only parts?
It's all the messages through Text Now that were to that number that was assigned that Naziah was using on Text Now.
That's what you got back from Text Now?
Yes.
But I'm talking about on Mr. Butt's phone.
Oh, Mr. Butt's phone specifically was just the messages from Text Now between him and Naziah.
Okay. And did it include everything that you received back from Text Now, or?
No.
Okay. And Senator, may I approach?
Yes.
Approaching with Nicole's proposed exhibits 46 and 47. Can you tell me, in exhibit 46, do you recognize what I handed you?
Yes, this is a extraction report for a iPhone. And it was for phone number account 313-585-8719. And this is the section in that extraction about messages.
Okay. And is that exhibit, proposed exhibit 46, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the messages that were on Jarvis Butt's phone between his phone number and the number 213-743-3173?
231, yes. 231.
231.
Yes.
Sorry, numbers. 231-743-3137.
Yes.
Okay. And those are the ones that you had seen on Mr. Butt's phone.
Correct.
And I move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 46.
No objection.
It'll be admitted as People's 46.
And those cover a period of October 7th, 2023 through November 23rd, 2023. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And now I want to show you proposed exhibit 47. Do you recognize what I handed you in 47?
Yes, this is another extraction from the phone, and this is under the message section.
And is that a fair and accurate depiction of the messages that you went through on Mr. Butt's phone to the number 313-379-5882?
Yes.
Okay. And I would move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 47.
No objection, Your Honor.
It'll be admitted as People's 47. Can you repeat that phone number?
Yep, 313-379-5882.
Thank you.
Thank you. And those would be from the date period of September 26th, 2022 to September 30th, 2022.
Yes.
And now I want to show you what's already been admitted as people's proposed, or people's exhibits 15 and 16. And these were already admitted. These are certified copies of text now messages. So I want to talk specifically about subscriber information within them. In People's 15, is there a subscriber as it relates?
Yes.
Okay, and who's that subscriber?
Excuse me. You need to let me hear. I can't hear you with your back turned.
Okay, so is there? a
Okay, I think I
subscriber as it
found what
relates
I'm
to
looking
that?
for,
Yeah.
y'all. Give me a
Who is
second.
that?
The username on here is Naziah Harris 955.
And are you familiar with the Naziah Harris?
Yes,
And how is it that you're familiar with her?
that is Naziah's biological mother.
And is there, on the next page, is there a phone number that is associated with that account? It might be on the subscriber information too.
Yes,
And what's that phone number?
it's 313-379-5882.
And what is the period of usage for which the subscriber Naziah Harris had that phone number?
The phone ownership is from September 24, 2022 through November 8, 2022.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. And now I want to show you a proposed exhibit 40. Can you tell me, exhibit 46, do you recognize what I handed you?
Yes, this is a extraction report for a iPhone. And it was for phone number account 313-585-8719. And this is the section in that extraction about messages.
Okay. And is that exhibit proposed exhibit 46, is that a fair and accurate depiction of the messages that were on Jarvis Buck's phone between his phone number and the number 213-743-3173?
231, yes. 231.
Yes, 231.
Yes.
Sorry, numbers. 231-743-3137.
Yes,
Okay. And those are the ones that you have seen on Mr. Buck's phone.
correct.
And I move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 46.
Objection.
It'll be admitted as People's 46.
And those cover a period of October 7th, 2023 through November 23rd of 2023. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. And now I want to show you a proposed exhibit 47. Do you recognize what I handed you in 47?
I'm gonna go to this one because that's not the right part either, y'all.
Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
I'm gonna go all the way to the top with her and the reason why I want to do this is because since I found out other stuff, now it's gonna mean something different to me. So I just want to go through this. Let's take it from the top.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Okay. Watch your step, please. Have a seat.
When speaking to this mic, you also pick it up and hold in your lap.
Whenever you're ready, Ms. Ripley.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. Could you please state your name for the record?
Shannon Harris,
And Ms. Harris, how old are you?
31.
And back on January, or in January 2024, where did you live?
With my mom. Resides with my mother.
With your mother? Okay, who's your mom?
Annette Harris.
And without telling me the exact address, what street did you live on?
Bedford.
And do you have any children?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
5.
And do all your kids have the same dad?
Yes.
Who's their dad?
Jarvis Butts.
And do you see, Jarvis Butts in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And can you point to him and tell me the color of the clothing that he's wearing?
Green. Well, whatever. Green.
Green. Your Honor,
Pretty
would you recommend
amazing
officers identify the defendant?
how well she could see Jarvis, but her mother couldn't see him at all. Interesting.
Case.
So reflected.
Thank you, Judge. And you said your mom's name is in that. Do you have any sisters?
Yes, 2.
What are their names?
Kenyatta Harris and Marquita Harris.
Are they older, younger, something else?
Oh, there. Marquita is a twin. She's my twin, same age.
And Kenyatta's older?
Yes.
Do you have any nieces or nephews?
Yes.
Do you know someone named Naziah Harris?
Yes.
What's your relationship to her?
My relationship to her, she is my niece. I'm her aunt.
Okay. And whose daughter is she?
My older sister is Kenyatta Harris.
And did you have any nicknames for Naziah?
Yes. We all call her Tudda.
And is that Tudda?
Yes.
And did Naziah ever know Jarvis through you?
Yes.
And when did Naziah and Jarvis first meet?
When she was little, like age 2.
2 years old, y'all.
And can you kind of describe the relationship between Naziah and Jarvis?
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
How often would Jarvis be around, like at your house with you?
He will call or say, can he come see the kids? Or the kids will ask, can he see their dad? And he will come, pull up either to my house where I used to live or at my mother's house.
Would Naziah ever be around?
All the kids would be around.
To your knowledge, would Naziah ever text Jarvis?
From my knowledge, no, unless I will have her to text.
But to your knowledge, you didn't know of any kind of separate outside relationship?
No.
Would there ever be times where, where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Pardon?
Where did you know Jarvis Butts to work?
Where did I know him to work at?
Yes.
He worked at 2 different locations. The first location would be on East Warren, and the other location would be on Gratiot and Connor.
And what were those locations?
Those are the auto repair shop.
Okay. Would you ever know Naziah to help Jarvis Butts at his shop?
Yes, he will call me and say, hey, if I can get our daughter and Naziah come and work up at the shop. And I would say, let me ask my mom first regarding Naziah.
And which daughter of yours would that be?
That would be my oldest, Janiyah.
Would you ever know Naziah to go to Jarvis's shop alone?
No.
Whose birthday is on or around September 26th?
That's my my 4th oldest birthday.
Do you recall a birthday party on September 26th of 2022?
Yes.
And was Jarvis there?
No.
Okay. And
Now those were the messages we was just listening to, and we gonna go back to it because that's when they was talking about the basement and all that. I do believe.
that would have been his son's birthday party?
Yes.
Were there ever times that you would text Jarvis off of a text now number?
The only time I would text Jarvis off a text now number is if my phone is off. Other than that, no.
And do you recall the numbers that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
Okay. And does a 586 510 5161 sound familiar?
Yes.
And what number is that?
That used to be my old number.
And is that number that you would text Jarvis from?
Yes.
And what about a 586-842-4504?
That was the number before this number.
Before the 510 number?
Correct.
Okay, and is that a number you would also text Jarvis from?
Correct.
And what number did you have for Jarvis funds?
The 313-585-8719.
And did you have any numbers for Naziah?
It was a funny looking area code. The area code was a 231.
Okay.
So when she get to showing her those messages, she's actually reading ZIYAH and Jarvis's messages, and this is the part that I
I'm
wanted
gonna
to
show
see what she
you
was reading.
Some messages from People's Exhibit 16.
So it's September. I had my
And ask
dates
you some
wrong.
questions about them, okay?
Okay.
Brandon, may I approach?
No wonder I couldn't find it.
I'm going to direct you to messages on or about June 27th of 2023.
Oh, it was June 27th.
Do you recall those messages? Did you send any of those messages to Jarvis Butts?
No.
Okay. And do you know, I believe there's a phone number here that's highlighted. Whose phone number do you know that to be?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And you don't recall ever sending any of those messages?
No.
Okay. And now I want to direct you to messages from June 28th of 2023. How about any of these? Did you send any of these to Jarvis Butts?
No.
I gotta not underestimate myself. June 27th, 28th. What I thought. Well, 28th is what I thought.
What about any messages from July 2nd of 2023? Did you send any of those messages?
No.
They could have found this stuff if they would have just checked their phone too. Some of it wasn't deleted. He was teaching her how to get rid of evidence.
What about messages from August 26th of 2023? Did you send any of those to Jarvis Butts?
I'm sorry, was the 26?
August 26th.
Miss June,
No.
July.
These aren't my messages.
We gotta find those messages.
Did Jarvis Butts ever tell you that Naziah texted him to meet up on January 9th, 2024?
No.
He definitely did.
Did you tell Jarvis Butts about not being able to locate Naziah on January 9th, 2024?
Yes.
And tell me, how did you tell him that?
I called him. He didn't answer. I sent him a message asking him, has he seen Tuda, any whereabouts? And I said no Tuda, and he responded back, oh
I
wow.
didn't hear what you said, the last part.
Last part I had, I text him. Well, first I called him. He didn't answer. The second time I sent him a message, still no Twitter. He replied back, "Oh, wow."
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
And just for record references, I'm showing her what's going to be proposed, People's Exhibit 48. Ms. Harris, those text messages that you just referenced, do you see those on this page?
Yes.
Okay. And so it's fair to say you stated to Mr. Butts, well, first of all, whose phone number is this at the top?
The phone number is my old telephone number.
Okay, and who is the phone number below that?
Jarvis Butts.
Okay. And
What
is
date
this,
was that?
I guess, do these fairly and accurately represent these two messages? 3, 4, 5, 6 messages sent between you and Mr. Butts on January 9th, 2024 through January 11th,
Oh, okay.
2024.
January 9th through 11th, okay. So she contacted him on the day.
The first page is, yes, it's correct. Second page, it's correct.
But they would have had to have a conversation first, though. Because that wasn't enough. Still no Twitter.
Yes.
What?
Okay.
Where the
Yeah,
rest
so
of the
January
conversation?
9th, like you had indicated before, you had stated that you told him that there was still no Tutta.
Correct.
Okay. And you said he responded, "Oh, wow."
Correct.
Oh, wow. What time was that?
And on January 11th, was
Now, the reason why I'm curious to know what time was that, because she was right with him. So I just wonder, was it like broad daylight when they could have been looking for her? He's sitting up there messaging her. Man, come on. All they had to do was go to this, where this dude was at, and they would have found her. She was she was in the car, just sitting outside in his car at some points. It's crazy.
Naziah still missing?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
At this point, I just asked that if she's going to read from the text message, just omit the exhibit.
How do you start a conversation still no Twitter? So I'm just wondering, what was their conversation before that? Did they see each other in person? Like, what kind of, did she call him on the phone? Like, that's how she let him know that she was missing? No, it had to be a conversation before that.
I
You have an
can.
issue with moving to admit?
No, Judge.
Okay.
Do these fairly and accurately represent text messages between you and your phone to Jarvis and his phone between, well, they start back earlier. Some from December 3rd, 2023 through January 21st of 2024. These fairly and accurately represent text messages between
Yes.
you and your phone to Mr. Butts and his phone?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 48. Objection.
Okay, that'll be admitted.
Thank you, Judge. So on January 11th, did you ask Mr. Butts to do something?
Yes.
And what is it that you asked him to do?
I asked him, can he share the missing flyer on his Facebook page?
Okay. And did you send him a copy of that missing flyer?
Yes.
Okay. And to backtrack just a little bit, on December 3rd, 2023, do you recall sending messages asking Mr. Butts if he needed Naziah for anything?
That's great.
Oh, yes, I do remember.
Okay. So do you remember this text on the first page of People's Exhibit 48?
Do you need Naziah?
Yes, I do remember this message.
Okay. And did you send that message?
Yes.
Okay, and what did the message say?
Tada said, do you still need her to?
Okay, and do you know what is that referring to?
It was,
Do you still need
Tada
her?
had asked me to contact Jarvis and see if he still needed them to clean up.
Okay, and that would be to clean up his shop?
Yes.
Okay. And to fast forward, on January 21st of 2024, you sent some messages to Mr. Butts. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read these last 3 messages?
These last 3 messages is, to be honest, these messages I seen into the inbox to you. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Stay away, Ramon. I mean it. The next message is, I don't know what to say, or Twitter is on. Says, this shit doesn't sit right with me. Call it what you want. I'm good, period. It says, this for life. Nigga, I thought about it, and you can pass it. And don't call me, no need to explain shit. I already see it.
Okay. So you were referencing some messages that you saw in Tada's inbox.
Correct.
Tell me, how did you see some messages? Well, first of all, where were these messages, where were they at?
The day of Officer Gardner came to pick up Naziah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger.
See, this the part I'm talking about, how they put it on each other. My mom told me to put it on the charger. My daughter, she got my glasses. Like, I mean, I know that allegedly that's what happened, but she waited all this time to look at her tablet. She didn't think, if they was really looking for her, wouldn't you think they would have looked at her tablet before now? You know what I'm saying? Why now? Why did they wait so long? Because I think this was in September. I'm not sure. I wrote it down somewhere because the guy said it, the officer that was doing the investigation. But that would have been number one thing to think, to check her tablet and Jarvis. And those are the things that they didn't. She just took his word. But I'm still trying to figure out what was the conversation before the still no Twitter. Like that don't even make sense.
Officer Gardner, after that, Officer Gardner called.
And this is the part that's making me wonder, how many tablets were there? Was this her school issued tablet, or was this her personal tablet? I wonder, because it was a tablet at school, and and I don't know. What is it? Which is it?
And it says,
I guess the unanswered questions are happening in trial.
She's on her way.
You're saying, without saying what.
Okay, I'm sorry. The officer had called and said that they was on their way to come pick up the tablet.
Don't say what they said.
Sustained, as far as hearsay.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Okay, continue.
So before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. She has 2 passwords that I normally know.
So let me say this. Because she texted him January 21st, 2024 about the messages, that's when they came and picked up the tablet. I'm going to just assume that.
So one of them is referenced for her brother's birthday, and the other one is referenced from my password. So I put the first password in, it didn't work. So I put the second password in. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butt's Instagram page. I clicked on his page, and I seen 2 messages.
Okay, and what were the messages that you saw? Who were they between, first of all?
Naziah, my niece, and Jarvis.
Okay, and what were the messages that you seen?
It was roughly 2 messages that I have seen that I can recall. States.
I'm going to object to this as hearsay. They have not been admitted, and the messages themselves would be the evidence.
Were they of any?
We're here in
Were
trial.
the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay. And you said you saw 2 messages.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see anything else?
It was two sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. There wasn't nothing there, but it was a picture was sent.
So what do y'all think she would have seen if it wasn't in a sexual nature that would make her respond to him that way? And then I do know at some point in this preliminary hearing, they put up the picture that he sent. Oh, dirty bastard. Shout out to everybody in the building. Welcome in. Shout out to 755. I don't even think I got the picture that he sent. The one with him peeping in them female looking glasses he had on. Let me keep her talking.
Okay. What did seeing those messages, what did they cause you to do?
Well, when I seen no messages, I called him and Jarvis Butts.
Okay.
Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? Said it's 2 particular messages that states out in this picture. And he stated that, I don't know, these messages, I told him what the messages were. And he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
Okay. And reading those messages, is that what caused you to text
Mr. Butts, yes.
Mr. Butts, in that you've seen the messages in the inbox, you don't really know what to believe anymore?
Correct.
Okay. One second, George.
I'd love to know what those messages was that'll make her react like that if it wasn't sexual in nature. What was it?
So, Sharon, I want to take you back to January 9th. Were you home that day?
Yes.
Okay. And
All
did you
day.
see Naziah that day?
I seen her that morning, correct.
Okay. And do you remember what she was wearing at all?
Her coat and her
I know.
uniform at the time. She had on some blue jeans. I don't really recall the outfit. I just know the coat she had on.
What was the coat that she had on?
She had on, it was a 90s coat with all the characters on it.
Okay. And you recall seeing her wearing that the morning of January 9th?
Correct.
And your Honor, may I approach people's already admitted exhibit 2?
Yes.
I'm going to show you people's exhibit 2. Can you tell me, do you recognize a coat in this photo?
Yes.
And whose coat do you recognize that to be?
Naziah's.
Okay. Now, after you when you saw Naziah that morning, what did you do the rest of the morning?
Nothing. I was at home with my mom and my 2 children.
And do you ever leave the house at any point that day?
No. I was at the house the whole entire day.
Y'all hear this? At the house the whole entire day with her mom. What was they doing more important than looking for her? Really? I wonder. Twiddling their thumbs?
And do you know what time Naziah would normally get home from school?
On certain days, she will stay for after school, and then
Good
on certain days she
question,
will
one
come
eye
home.
open.
The days she will stay for after school is 6, and the days that she don't is at 3 o'clock.
Okay. And on January 9th, do you know?
But she had already said that her mother took her out of the after school program, so you knew that she wasn't at no after school program.
If Naziah had the after school program?
Yes. At that time, my mom took her out of the after school program.
Okay.
So she will come home directly at 3 o'clock.
So why did she just use that as a damn excuse then? Did y'all hear that?
Okay. And were you home at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And did you see Naziah come home?
No.
Okay. And did you see her come home at all the rest of the night?
No.
Okay. Did you leave at any point after 3 o'clock?
No.
Okay. Did you, yes, when Naziah didn't come home, did that cause you to experience or feel any type of way?
It did. When she didn't come home is when my mom went to go pick up the other 2 children from the after school program. They knocked on the door and they had asked a question and said,
Objection, sounds like hearsay.
One second. You have a response or?
A question isn't hearsay technically.
I think she said.
It's just a question.
I'm
Yes.
just getting ready to say a question. Okay,
What
finish
was
what
the,
you're
what was the question?
the 2 children had asked me, Mom said, did
That's the hearsay.
Naziah come home?
The hearsay is mom said.
Okay, so were you asked directly whether Naziah came home?
So my mom was still in the car, I was inside the house. They was coming to the house, walking up to the door. When I opened the door, they asked me,
Hello.
Mom said, did Naziah come home? I said, no.
Okay. And was Naziah home at all?
No.
Okay. And did you do any sort of looking for Naziah that night?
Yes.
What did you do?
I called my twin sister. I called some of her friends that I know that stays close by. If they had seen Naziah, heard from Naziah and everything. And when I reached out to my sister, she said no. Her friend said no. So after that, I asked my mom, did she want me to call police? She said no, she will take it up in the morning.
Okay. Just one second. Shannon, did you know Naziah to have a pair of red and black Nike shoes?
Yes.
Okay. And if I showed you a picture of them, would you be able to identify them?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
And for the record, this is going to be from People's Proposed Exhibit 14, and it'll be picture 34. Do you recognize these shoes?
Yes, that's a pair of shoes that my mom bought for to the birthday.
Okay, thank you. Now, back on the 9th, you said your mom was going to file a police report in the morning.
Correct.
Okay, did you go with her to file a police report in the morning?
No, it was my older sister.
Okay. Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find Naziah?
Yes, we went out, I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers, and everything that we need to do. Now, what was asked of us to do.
Okay. And since January 9th, 2024, have you seen Naziah?
No.
Have you, since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from Naziah?
No.
Nothing further at this time, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Harris, I also have some questions for you. You and Mr. Butts have been, or you've known him for about 12 years?
Correct.
And fair to say that you were in a dating relationship with him for most of that time?
Correct.
but towards the end, like last year, it was more off and on. Fair to say?
No, it was on and off for years.
For years, okay. But you have 5 children with him?
Correct.
And this relationship that you had with him, even towards the end when it was on, it was a sexual relationship, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you go to a motel to have sex with him,
Correct. Yes.
and that motel was the Park Preston.
Or the SharePoint.
There was more than one.
Multiples, yes.
Okay. But one of them was the Park Crest. Said yes.
Correct.
And it's in Harper Woods.
Wait a minute, y'all. I gotta take this back right quick, just because I want to hear what she asked her.
Asked of us to do.
She asked her what does she do the whole day. At first she said she said she didn't leave the house all day. She was there with her mom, and I think she said kids and stuff. And then she asked her, what does she do as far as looking for Naziah? And I want to hear what she said.
Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find Naziah?
Yes. We went out, I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies.
She just said she was at home all day. Or, is this another day? Oh, I think, did she just say the 10th?
Did you do anything on the 10th as it relates to trying to find Naziah?
Yes. We went out, I and some others went out to go get some pictures, made copies. We went to other stores, passed out flyers and everything that we need to do. Now, what was asked of us to do.
Asked of her to do.
And since January 9th, 2024, have you seen Naziah?
No.
Have you?
Did she only do it because she was asked to do it? I mean, the way that she said that, it kind of gave me that impression. But yeah, let me let this keep playing.
Since January 9th, 2024, have you heard from Naziah?
No.
Nothing further at this time, Judge.
Interesting.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Harris, I also have some questions for you. You and Mr. Butts have been, or you've known him for about 12 years?
Correct.
And fair to say that you were in a dating relationship with him for most of that time?
Correct.
But towards the end, like last year, it was more off and on, fair to say?
No, it was on and off for years.
For years, okay. But you have 5 children with him?
Correct.
And this relationship that you had with him, even towards the end when it was on, it was a sexual relationship, right?
Correct.
Sometimes you go to a motel to have sex with him?
Correct. Yes.
And that motel was the Park Preston?
Or the SharePoint.
There was more than one?
Multiples, yes.
Okay. But one of them was the Park Crest? Said yes?
Correct.
And it's in Harper Woods?
Correct.
On Harper?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Butts, or do you suspect that Mr. Butts has taken other women to those motels also?
Correct.
You do? I believe you said that you have, of your 5 children with him, 2 are girls?
Yes.
And 3 are boys?
Correct.
And in January of this time, well, January 2023, you were living with your mother on Bedford, correct?
Correct.
Prior to that, were you living in Clinton Township?
Correct.
When did you leave the Clinton Township home and move to the Bedford home?
October 23.
October 23 is when she moved. See, 22 is Naziah was
And
with
so
her in that
there were
Clinton
times
home.
when you were in Clinton Township that Mr. Butts would travel out there to see the kids.
Correct.
And then when you moved to the Bedford address, he would go to the Bedford address to see the kids.
Correct.
Okay, so that means that text message about the basement was over there, allegedly, possibly, but I'm not sure. But if it was in 2022 and they said she was always with Shannon, it's a possibility that was. I mean, if it started in 22, it had to have been at her house because Jarvis wouldn't have no reason to be over at Mama's house before she was there, right? So if it was in 22, it happened on Shannon's watch, is what I'm thinking. based off of what I'm hearing.
And then the Bedford address is when Naziah was also living there, correct?
Correct.
Good question, V314. Why take her out of the program? Oh, you know what? They said she got into it with somebody. Her and some other female had an ongoing
And I
problem.
believe you just testified that on January the 9th, you were living at that house.
Correct.
And you were there during the day.
Correct.
And so were you one of the first people that realized that Naziah did not come home when she was expected to be home?
Well, I didn't realize it until I had got a question. By the other kids had asked that I
see how she do not she don't take responsibility for nothing. She was the one at home. She was the one that knew that Naziah usually get home at 3:02, 3:05 or whatever, but for whatever reason, she didn't know that Naziah was missing until her mother got home and the kids knocked on the door to ask if Naziah was home. Do that make sense? Hell no.
Have Naziah came home yet, or have I seen her? And I said no.
What would make her mother just pull up and say, is Naziah home? Why would her mother think that Naziah wasn't home already automatically? I'm just saying. Let's take that back a little bit. She at home all day. The mother is out, I guess, picking up the kids. They come home and ask her if Naziah home. What alerted them to think she wasn't?
Well, I didn't realize it until I had got a question. By the other kids had asked that I have Naziah came home yet, or have I seen her? And I said no.
Do you remember what time that was in the afternoon?
That was in the evening. My mom picked them up
after 6.
So that was about 3 hours later than she normally should have been home.
Are y'all hearing this? Like, it just don't make no damn sense. Oh, I didn't even know she wasn't home until. And I guess she gonna say she tried to say she thought that she was in the program, but then she turned around and said her mama took her out the program. So which is it? We gonna keep listening, but yeah, I see the judge and how she looking, and because she picking up on all this.
Correct.
Was that surprising?
Yes, it was. One, we thought that she was at the after school program, but it didn't dawn on no one until my mom came back.
This is just ridiculous.
To the house, and she wasn't here, or she wasn't in the car when they had got in the car.
And so when you all realized that she wasn't at school and she wasn't at home.
Oh, so the grandmother didn't realize. Oh, is that what alerted the grandmother too when Naziah didn't come out, or when she picked up the other kids? Is that what she's saying?
That's surprising?
Yes.
But you didn't.
Even though she knew she had taken her out of the program. I'm going to let her talk.
Go to the woods that night?
No.
She ever not returned home previously?
No, this is her first time ever doing this.
First time
Does
ever.
she have friends in the neighborhood that she would go visit?
Yes.
And you said those are folks that you contacted to ask?
Yes.
No, none of it makes sense.
You were just shown a pair of red and black Nike shoes, right?
Correct.
And you identified those shoes as being Naziah's shoe. Is that correct?
Correct.
It's a shoe that looks like the shoe that Naziah is wearing, correct?
Correct. Correct.
You can't say for sure that that exact
Yes,
shoe came from Naziah. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
And I think you testified that very rarely would you ever use text now to contact Mr. Butts.
Right.
Only if your phone was turned off.
Right.
And that was not very often.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would Naziah ever have access to your phone to use it?
Yes, like she would ask, hey, TT, can I see your phone? Sure, I wouldn't mind. Yes.
And so would she text from that phone?
Probably, yes.
Did you ever notice any text from
No,
her on your phone?
no.
Did you ever notice if she had used your Text Now app?
No, the only time when I would notice something is say if me and Jarvis would we won't be on the same page seeing eye to eye, and I will call him and he said why you will call me, or like why you continue to keep calling me, and I would say I haven't called you all day or in 2 days.
Wait a minute now. Is she telling us she been stalking Jarvis and he asked her why you continue to call me? Wait a minute now. What are you talking about here?
Text from
No,
her on your phone?
no.
No, she only use it when she's stalking Jarvis from another phone that ZIYAH usually call from, allegedly.
Did you ever notice if she had used your Text Now app?
No, the only time when I would notice something is say if me and Jarvis would we won't be on the same page seeing eye to eye, and I will call him and he said why you will call me, or like why you continue to keep calling me, and I would say I haven't called you all day
What?
or in 2 days. Then I will go ask my kids like, hey, are y'all calling your dad because I haven't called him.
The only time I notice something is when she called him and he say that. That don't even make sense to the question that she asked. Let me take it back, and I'm gonna just let her talk.
We won't be on the same page seeing eye to eye, and I will call.
It sounds ridiculous.
I think you testified that very rarely would you ever use Text Now to contact Mr. Butts.
Right.
Only if your phone was turned off.
Right.
And that was not very often.
Right.
Would Naziah ever have access to your phone to use it?
Yes, like she would ask, hey, TT, can I see your phone? Sure, I wouldn't mind, yes.
And so would she text from that phone?
Probably, yes.
Did you ever notice any text from
No.
her?
Now, think about this. We all got little kids to be around. How many of y'all normally we're on our phones ourselves. How many of y'all is just handing your phone off to a kid that go off and do all the stuff that we know that's been happening on these phones and they don't know anything going on? You didn't question her like, why you need my phone? Who you need to call from my phone? Who you talking to? Like, you don't ask none of those questions when a kid is asking for your phone. Come on now. I mean, I don't be handing my phone to nobody, actually. Like, I'm gonna need to be standing right there next to you while you own my phone. Like, I'm just not used to handing my phone off. But yeah, that's what she said.
On your phone?
No.
Did you ever notice if she had used your Text Now app?
No, the only time when I would notice something is say if me and Jarvis would we won't be on the same page seeing eye to eye, and I will call him and he said why you will call me, or like why you continue to keep calling me, and I would say I haven't called you all day or in 2 days. Then I will go ask my kids like, hey, are y'all calling your dad because I haven't called him.
And until you looked in Naziah's Instagram account, did you ever notice anything on your phone that caused you to be concerned?
No.
Between Naziah and Mr. Lutz?
No.
And Mr. Butts, we said would come to the house to see his kids. He would drop them off at the house sometimes. He would take them places.
Yes.
He would pick Janiyah up from there.
Like he depending on like if he will pick up the kids, if I need him to pick up the kids from the pickup or drop off spot for school, he will do that. Yeah.
And then take them either to Clinton Township when you live there or to the Bedford Street address.
Correct.
Okay. But most times he wouldn't even come to the house, right?
He will come to the house. He will call me first before he will come.
Would he come into the house physically, or would he sit in his truck outside?
50%. He will sit in the car and wait till the kids come outside, or he will knock on the door.
Okay. Would he be in the house for any length of time?
Only if I'm inside the house.
Like he was visiting with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you never knew a time that Mr. Butts would have been alone in the house with Naziah?
No.
You can't think of a time when he had been in the house and had gone down to the basement with her?
No.
Or any other room in the house alone?
No.
Would Mr. Butts have ever been at that house if another adult, like you or your mother, weren't there?
He will, what you said.
Would Mr. Butts ever be at the house if you or your mother weren't there?
No, it will be me or another person.
The idea that anything was going on between Mr. Butts and Naziah is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No.
You never noticed anything between Naziah and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
No.
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
Not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her?
No.
Certainly if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You found it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt Naziah.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
But the thought of that was hard for you, at least at one point, to believe, correct?
Correct.
Why is that when he's done it before?
Now,
Get out of
during your
here.
time that you and Mr. Butts were together, he's had children with other women.
Correct.
Pretty consistently with other women.
Correct.
Yep.
More than one woman.
Correct.
Some of those women you actually knew about, correct?
Correct.
They lived kind of even in the same neighborhood on the east side.
Correct.
But you suspect that there were women that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Even one that lived, or more than one that lived over on the west side?
Correct.
You believe he was going out there to see somebody around the end of 2023, January 2024?
Correct.
Can't satisfy him. He everywhere, honey.
Before January the 9th, you had a conversation with Naziah about a location on Outer Drive in Belfour?
Yes.
And that was surprising to you, right?
Correct.
That's on the east side of Detroit?
Yes.
Did you end up giving her directions on how to get to that location?
Yes.
Why did you give her directions?
I was just getting out the shower and just getting myself together. She asked me, she said, "Hey, Titi," she said, "where is Belford and Honor Drive?" And I told her, I said, "You know exactly where Belford and Honor Drive at."
Why did she know?
Honor Drive is right where the wine basket at, and I said, "You know where Belford at?" And she was like, "I get Balfour and Bedford mixed up." So I said, "You already know Belford is before Bedford." So she said, "Okay." She said, "Because we are in school and we are learning about our surroundings." So I said, "Okay."
This whole conversation is suspect. The whole conversation. Like, why did she say it like that? You know where it's at. Like, that's where Jarvis be at. Let me take that back a little bit. I'm sorry if I'm driving y'all crazy, but
It's shocking to you, right?
Correct.
Dumbass.
I had no idea.
No.
You never noticed anything between Naziah and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
So the constant complaints about from your children of him doing things, the neighbor or the family member that was over there for the first time, they told the fact that you knew since you was 19 years old per her testimony. I mean, per her statements on Mark DeAndre's channel, the 5-hour live stream, you didn't think nothing. Nothing. You didn't suspect anything. Even though Naziah was getting bigger, I showed in one of my last live streams where she was dancing and you could literally see her belly. You could literally see her face filling in more. She was a very slim girl who wore belly shirts and stuff, who now wearing sweatshirts. Get out of here. And you already know a person like him, he is not worried about getting caught. It could be cameras right there, and he's still gonna do it because that's how much of a pred he is. He gonna take all the chances he can take. They knew. And it's just amazing. That's why I wanted to listen at it again, because after listening at and knowing all the stuff that I know and listening at things out of her mouth, to say that you didn't have no clue and you know this man got an appetite for kids. Come on. You were young. You were too young to be with him. You know this dude. She knew what type of guy he was, if nothing more. But wow. I mean, to hear how she continued to defend this guy, even knowing what she know right here. Like, she knew this stuff in January, the year that ZIYAH went missing. She knew this. And that podcast that she was on, Mark DeAndre's podcast, she knew all of this stuff at that moment, and she didn't say nothing. She was still protecting him in February of 2024 after her niece was missing. Still getting with this dude, from my understanding, putting books on it, money on his books to this day right now, and allegedly throwing birthday parties. I just heard. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, I mean, they do know. Per this hearing, if you didn't know, the jail calls, they tell you that they recorded. So whatever been happening, they gonna be able to prove some stuff with them too. It's gonna be interesting to see where this go, because all of the evidence that everybody else see that they knew, and there's no way that they couldn't have known. It's a lot. And I don't see this case sliding past all that. That's crazy if it do.
No.
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
Not at all.
Now let's think about this. Now that it was said that the reason the little family member that was visiting for the first time, who he messed with, better yet, let's go to this where he messed with his own daughter after seeing her for the first time at the age of 8. We talking about a guy that you can't blink. This type of person shouldn't be around anybody. And you mean to tell me somebody that is that bold, that brazen, to do that you didn't see nothing? Come on. Did she have her glasses off? Did she have a blindfold on too? Get out of here.
You didn't notice Mr. Buzz paying any special attention to her?
There is no way.
No.
He paid a lot of
Certainly,
attention.
if you had noticed
to
that would cause you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You found it.
So I wanted to point this out, that I was looking on Shanna's page the page that she be on. And this is I went through her photos. This is all she posted when Naziah went missing. These are the only posts that she posted about her. And this is me going into, let me move this banner right quick. This is me going into her photos and looking at them as a whole. So this one is a Crime Stopper, and why I'm here. I'm gonna go to her page, but I'm gonna let her keep talking. I'm gonna go to her page and read what she posted on these that I'm showing y'all.
It's hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt Naziah.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
But the thought of that was hard for you, at least at one point, to believe, correct?
Correct.
Now, during the time that you and Mr. Butts were together, he's had children with other women,
Correct.
pretty consistently with other women,
Correct.
more than one woman.
Correct.
Some of those women you actually knew about, correct?
Correct.
They lived kind of even in the same neighborhood on the east side.
Correct.
But you suspect that there were women that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Even one that lived, or more than one that lived over on the west side?
Correct.
You believe he was going out there to see somebody around the end of 2023, January 2024?
Correct.
Before January the 9th, you had a conversation with Naziah about a location on Outer Drive in Belfour,
Yes.
and that was surprising to you, right?
Correct.
That's on the east side of Detroit.
Yes.
Did you end up giving her directions on how to get to that location?
Yes.
Why did you give her directions?
I was just getting out the shower and just getting myself together. She asked me, she said, "Hey, TT," she said, "where is Belford and Honor Drive?" And I told her, I said, "You know exactly where Belford and Honor Drive at." I said, "Honor Drive is right where the wine basket at." And I said, "You know where Belford at?" And she was like, "I get Balfour and Bedford mixed up." So I said, "You already know Belford is before Bedford." So she said, "Okay." She said, "Because we are in school and we are learning about our surroundings." So I said, "Okay." But that was the only two things that she had asked, was where was Outer Drive and Balfour at.
Does that location have any special significance to you?
No.
Do you know anybody at that location?
No, the only thing that I'm used to, I'm familiarized with just picking up Jarvis, Outer Drive in Belford. It's just on a corner.
On a corner?
Mm-hmm.
Not at an address?
Not on an address.
When was this conversation?
That's proof that she knew. You know that's where he hang out at. She asking you where it's at, and you telling her you know where it's at and all that. Come on, man. It's like, man, they was served up.
About that location. Do you recall?
This was right before Naziah went missing.
Right before she went missing.
How soon before? Weeks?
The day before?
Maybe it was still like in that same week. She went missing.
They didn't know nothing though. Oh no, they don't know nothing.
Mr. Butts didn't have his own vehicle, fair to say?
No, he didn't.
He generally used
his female's vehicles.
Did you know Mr. Butts to park at one location and maybe walk to another to kind of try to remain undetected?
Pretty much, yes.
So would it be not out of the ordinary for him to for you to have to pick him up at a random or what seemed to be a random location to you?
Correct.
Come on, man.
You lived with Naziah for, you said, from about October until January the 9th.
Correct.
So you spent a lot of time around her?
Yes.
You knew her mannerisms?
Yes.
Her demeanor?
Yes.
Her moods?
Yes.
Did anything strike you as out of the ordinary about how she was acting at any point in time in December or January before she disappeared?
No, Naziah, nothing have changed her character, none of that. She was just the same old Naziah. Nothing is different.
Naziah is a brother, right?
Yes.
Was it an older brother?
Yes.
Now, he had run away in 2023, is that right?
Yes.
Objection relevant.
How was it relevant?
If it's something that had bothered her or something that she was dealing with at the time, could cause a change in her demeanor.
Okay. Overruled.
So she did have a brother that ran away.
Correct.
And was that something that she struggled with?
She didn't like the fact that her brother was running away. Yes, she didn't like it.
Around the same time, around the time December, January, was her mother supposed to come visit, her biological mother?
Yes.
Did she end up coming to see Naziah?
Yes.
She did. Did Naziah seem to have some big emotions about that contact?
Yes.
Is it complicated, fair to say?
Yes.
Did she talk to you about that?
All the time.
Did you notice anything? You said you didn't notice anything in a changing mood. So
No.
what about physically?
No.
I don't have anything else, thank you.
Can you redirect?
Did you go to the Park Crest Inn on January 9th, 2024? Mr.
No.
Fox?
No.
And fair to say, you knew of Mr. Butts having other female friends?
Yes.
Okay. And even some that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that you don't always know, or you didn't always know what Mr. Butts was doing?
No.
You couldn't account for his whereabouts every minute of the day?
No.
Did you know him to, one of those cars that he would use, did you know him to have a white Escalade type truck?
Correct. Yes.
And you were asking questions about Outer Drive and Balfour. Fair to say, from what I gathered, the only connection you have to that area is Jarvis Butts.
Correct.
Okay, so he's the only one you would associate with that area.
Correct.
And she didn't associate him with that area that day? Get out of here, man. Your pedo boyfriend, your niece asking about a location where he be at and you don't think nothing of it. Really? Really? Make it make sense. Can y'all make that make sense? Because it don't to me. Ain't nobody buying that. This is why the judge said what she said, man. Like, come on. It's right in your face. How can you not see it should be the question.
And you knew Mr. Butts to have other children?
Correct.
Okay, and you knew him to have clearly gotten other women pregnant?
Correct.
None of that
And
matters.
to your knowledge, were all those women adults?
To my knowledge, yes.
To my knowledge.
Did he, to you, ever hide getting another woman pregnant?
No.
He ain't never had to. They had an open relationship. King said he slept with her. You know his partner slept with her. That blew me away, man. Listen, what do y'all think? Does it read something different now that we know all that we know about this lady? I mean, so much information have come out about this family. It is insane. So I was sitting here looking at some messages that I had, and I said I wanted to go through her page. Not really, like, just to show. Okay, so this right here, when Naziah first came up missing, this is the page that she was on, and this is the only page that I know her to have, even though it don't seem like she really posted on it, but she be on it. And so here is everything I didn't black out. I mean, blur out. This was a post about her, this Crime Stopper, and I'm talking about is one-line sentences on these things. This is a post that she made. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to her page and read what she posted with each one of them. Okay, and so this, I got a couple of them here. Here's one right here. She posted on January 11th. That's all she said right there. This is my niece, Naziah, 13 years old. Have you seen her? Please help me get my niece home. Please contact Detroit Police Department. Last seen leaving school. Last seen leaving school Tuesday. Please share, and share. She was last seen getting off that bus. So I'm not sure who told her on the 11th that she was last seen leaving school. Not sure. Then this is something that she posted. So she posted this in February. Now this is a little bit different because she's defending the refrigerator at this point. Since you all seem to be struggling with the concept, let me help clarify. Now, a person that speak like this, you think she would notice everything in front of her, right? She pretty sharp, right? Missed everything allegedly. But she can check somebody, right? But since you all seem to be struggling with the concept, let me help clarify. By state law, personal refrigerators can be locked chained as long as children have access to their fridge at all times. Good morning. Defense, that was a bigger paragraph. How many lines we got there? Okay, then this is something that she posted here. And so let me go to that because I don't have what she said with it. And that one about the refrigerator, this is the first thing you gonna see out of everything, out of the messages that she decided to pin to her page, y'all. She didn't decide to pin this. She didn't decide to pin this. She didn't decide to pin the other ones here that I don't have blurred out. But she definitely wanted to pin that. Do y'all think that's more important than finding your niece? I don't. But that's where her mind is at. So let me go to the other pictures now. Let me read what she posted with this one. Give me a second. With this one, this was posted January 11th, 2024, 2 days after she went missing. Shannon posted share with 3 exclamation points. That was it. So this flyer actually is coming. This is the school flyer that they put out. Like the guy that came and did his little investigation on the next day. This is the stuff I believe that he put, right? So it says at the top, Detroit Public School Community District Police Department. Serious missing. She was deemed a serious missing at that time. Naziah Harris, she was 13, date of birth 9/16/2010. They say she was 5'2", 130 pounds, medium complexion, hair braided into 2 puff balls, wearing a light blue jean shirt, light blue jean pants, pink and white Rugrats coat with fur around the collar, and blue, white Nike gym shoes. So this also put a halt in everything because they looking for the wrong clothes. You find shoes and stuff out there that people didn't take because they wasn't white and blue. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out, the red and white Nikes with the black in it was hers when they tested the DNA. It says here, last seen 1/9/2024 in the area of Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive around 2:50 after exiting the bus. If any of you see her, please contact Detective Gardner, which he was a school person who retired and didn't get this case to the police. I mean, he handed off to somebody else according to his testimony. And according to King's testimony, they picked her up at a liquor store. I think I said Ashley's liquor store. For whatever reason, I don't have my note in front of me. That's so annoying when I write stuff down and don't have it at the time that I need it. Hold on. Give me a second. I ain't gonna waste too much time looking for that. But yeah, that's what he said. So I'm wondering how far is the bus stop to this liquor store that King said they picked her up. Just so happened they happened to be riding down the street at the same time that she was crossing the street, and Jarvis said, "That's my niece right there." So he pulls into the parking lot. She gets in the car, said, "Hi, Jay. Hi, King." That was his testimony. Okay. So yeah, that's all she wrote there. Share, share, share. That was January 11th. Don't seem urgent to me. You know, like that's all you put. And then this picture right here, she posted that. Let me read the comments. She got 14 comments. This was praying hands, praying she's safe. Jesus, bring the baby home. Oh my goodness. Nothing. 1.4K shares is all she got on that. The other one didn't get no comments, but 2.3 shares, but she probably cut her comments off because they not favorable to her. And then the picture of Naziah, she posted this picture right here, that one with the curtain, the look like a shower curtain behind her. Well, it is a shower curtain. And she posted, "Please don't stop sharing." That was January 11th. 16 comments, 62.9K shares, which all probably happened this year. Praying for her return. Nothing really. Yeah, she definitely got her comments off because people would be going in. Them 62.9K people that shared this would have been going ham and cheese on her. So yeah, that's all she posted. Oh, and then the Crime Stopper one that's at the top. That was posted February 14th, 2024. So we know that the lead detective got the case on February 12th and stuff started moving. Jarvis was questioned on the 13th. No, not Jarvis. King was questioned on February 13th. And that reads, "If you have any information regarding my niece's whereabouts, please do not hesitate to call." Call who? Okay, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. Okay. And then, like, that just made me think, because I just seen that Tamara Liberty Smith had posted something on her page. Well, I think it was 5 days ago. Let me just go. Even though I don't have these things in here, I was gonna put them in here, but let me see. So a couple things has happened. Well, 5 days ago, Tamara Liberty Smith posted to Shannon, and she tagged her. She said, "Please give your niece the justice that she deserves," and anonymously call the 1-800-SPEAK-UP. This right here that she telling other people to call, and leave a tip to where Naziah is. No questions asked. You owe her this, right? Then somebody else, Jarvis's sister. People have been threatening her and her daughter and giving them a hard time for whatever reason. I'm thinking, I don't know if these is goons of Jarvis's or what, but they are targeting his sister. And so she wrote, "It's really sad that some people are so ignorant. I did what was right, and now my daughter and I are getting life-threatening phone calls. I see some of my family members' pages are being posted that have never even met my brother. I don't owe anyone any explanation. I know who I am. People are speaking on me and my family as if they personally know us. I hope that they're putting that same energy into keeping their children and kids away from MFers like my brother." Okay? Find a job or something better to do besides trolling me. This is just why people don't come forward and do what's right. Shaking my head. And she's absolutely right. There is no reason why his sister is being threatened or targeted in no kind of way. She did the right thing. It was a hard thing, I'm sure. Y'all seen her tears up there. But she stood up and did the right thing. I mean, unfortunately, she did say that she has seen a girl getting in and out of his car. And because he did 10 years in prison for this already, I guess people feel like, well, she should have said something before now. I don't know, but that would be the only thing that I'm thinking. But she still did the right thing. I mean, everything is too little, too late, because nothing saved her. Her family should have protected her from this ever happening. But yeah, I don't agree with his sister being targeted at all. She came forward. She called Shannon and asked for the detective's number, and she called and told them what she knew, what she seen. And she didn't wait for them to find evidence and come and contact her. So I commend her for that. And it's sad because who in the hell in a right mind is protecting him? Is many more like him. That's the only thing I can think. You couldn't be my friend enough for me to just close my eyes and ears to everything that you've done to ruin these young girls. And then there was a post, somebody posted, one of my little bros is Naziah's big brother, the one they keep calling the runaway. He got some shit that'll get the grandma and everybody else cooked. I'm trying to get him to tell his side of the story. You know what? Hey, let everything come out. I wish that it would. But as far as Naziah, all of these grown people that was around her and, in the house that wasn't paying attention to her or was allowing it, whichever, shame on them. And what else is up? Y'all heard what I said earlier about allegedly something going on with the something going on with the mother allegedly. As a matter of fact, I posted 2 videos earlier, and that the videos will make sense. I was gonna pull them up, but I'd rather y'all just check them out. Also, just check out my videos because I do make smaller videos because these live streams can be long and everybody ain't gonna watch long live streams, so I shorten it. So please hit that video tab and check out the videos, and y'all see what I'm talking about as far as the mother allegedly being found locked in a room with this Jarvis character, supposed to be, and Shannon said the door was locked. Apparently he was in there painting some walls. Yeah, her walls. So yeah, and then I look at this, like, you can look at them all now and be like, oh, they grown. Yeah, which they are. But what was going on at around these ages? Like, because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that a mother, her and Jarvis is a good 10 years apart. So if she was 19, he was 29 or 20 or 30 or 29 going on 30. And if she was 16, he was 26. So what mother would allow that? Your mother got to be in agreement to this stuff. Especially if you still in a household and still under her wing, which they are, both of her twins. I mean, they all in the same house. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But the last thing that I'm buying is that nobody knew what was going on, because we can see it. Yeah, look, think about, like, I've heard this about the Kardashians' mother, right? And what Kanye was worried about concerning his daughters or whatnot. Some mothers do this. They get their own daughters prepared to get out there and make that money. Okay. It sound like that might have been going on. I don't know. It gotta be, it ain't proven though. But and I'm not even a channel that bash family members of victims. I never do that. But this family right here is like, how do you not know? The brothers sound like, yeah, definitely. It was and anytime that stuff is happening, even lady, the Naziah's father that came out and spoke, he said that lady was into women, and then we heard what Naziah said, um and then just wondering, like, I really am wondering who was the person that impregnated the mother. You see what I'm saying? At 11, like, what? Who did that? Like, could that have happened? Like, think about, remember I was talking about how females actually have children for these people. What if you was brought up like that and that's your norm, and then you just keep it going? What if that happened to her? I mean, I'm talking about full blown, somebody just, the big word. Like, I mean, it's some people have been through this since toddlers or even younger. I don't know how deep this goes, man, but that's so dark. It's so dark. But for generations of family members to run away, to turn to the opposite sex, to be messed up, and still not say nothing. That's some deep rooted stuff. And it's a generational curse, is what I'm looking at. It's deep. But I'm looking at the comments right now. Generational grooming. Yes. That's what it's looking like. Can hire a private investigator. Yeah, if they really wanted to know the truth, they definitely got the community, the Detroit community. And shout out again to Mark DeAndre. Shout out to Roxy Rocks, the family member that has been going hard and getting justice for other people. And even healing herself. Like, Roxy told that story about her mother. Like, you got to catch the beginning of this if you didn't. And also check her out on Facebook. But I am just blown away by that, what she said about herself being a product of this. A product of this. She came from it, she said. Her mother was assaulted. Her mother was a foster child assaulted by a foster brother. Crazy. And the mother protected her son. That's why she goes so hard. I'm gonna need people to get off her back. Cause, man, her story is meant for her life. Basically, is meant for this case today, right now. This is her purpose, is what it sounds like to me. For her to be able to relate like that. This is her purpose, and her passion too, because she is very passionate about this. And I didn't know why. I could feel her passion, but now, man. Wow. But anyway, y'all, we are here for the long haul for this, because it need to be talked about. The screams, Precious, and I believe the aunt and the granny were all, yep, together. Some sick. That's what is starting to really be more clear to me. And I never even thought about this, like a mother. Like, I just can't. I don't know people like this, I don't think. Somebody got to step up. I stand by her. Yes. Shout out to Roxy Rocks, man. Y'all support her on Facebook. That's where she's at. And support Mark DeAndre on Facebook. You could type him in on YouTube, but if you don't want to miss stuff, everything is on Facebook, but he has a lot of stuff on YouTube. I ain't here to steal the shine, but I'm a crime channel, and this is what we do since 2020. I've been reporting crime and missing cases and stuff, and this one hit close to home for you too, right? 755, that's your hometown. Like, prayers to this family, and we still want her to be found regardless. And the last thing that I heard, the Mimi chick that everybody's been talking about, I haven't seen not one of her videos, but what I found out today on Mark DeAndre's live, it was towards the end. Somebody came in and said that another channel had exposed who she was, and they're saying that she is really the baby mama of Jarvis. This Mimi woman that's been breaking into the shop and screaming and hollering and looking for Naziah and all this. This is what is being said. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, mental illness is real. A year later, you running up in the shop. But like I said, I haven't seen that. But yeah, check him out on Facebook. That video from this morning is also on YouTube, though. So I will say keep up with him, because you want the real information from the real people that's putting in the work. That is how you get it. But me, I'm a factual based channel. I like to follow the real facts, because facts is what makes sense to me. I don't like to go according to the rumor, although I do share some things that people are saying, but we are facts based over here, and we're going to be following this. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out my playlist and everything, and subscribe if you have not. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't gotten a chance to. And I will see y'all in the next live stream. We're going to get up out of here. Shout out to my BFF. I did not know you had entered the building. I'm sitting up here scrolling like, what did I miss? I missed a lot. A whole ring. Yeah, it probably is, TBZ. You never freaking know. Oh, TT left. Well, thank you, TT, for holding it down. She's like, what's going on with this chat? I don't know what I was missing. Probably kidnapped by illegal. Hey, you never know. I doubt it, though. Hate to leave, but everyone have a good morning. Okay. Still, I still stand on Shannon and sus. That absolutely. Yep. But it makes me wonder, dang, what happened to them? I mean, it ain't no excuse, no matter what happened, because you have a choice to change the dynamics. You can change it up. You don't have to be a creep. You could do the right thing. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all so much for hanging out. Please be sure to like, share, and also subscribe to the channel. Make this go viral. Check out my big cuz in the chat, 755 Media. Shout out to my moderators, my HMIC, and shout out to all the newbies in the building. Shout out to everybody. I don't want to leave nobody out. Please smack that thumbs up, y'all.
viral. Make this go viral. Make this go higher. 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 Burn this on fire. Like a fire. Like a fire. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. You going to jail. You going to jail. Lock his ass up. Lock his ass up. Nanny boo boo.
Yeah, lock them all up. We ain't playing with them.
What in the fuckity fuck kind of shit is this?
Wow. Love y'all. We out.